going to give you a quick demo of our CTN Network website, ctnnetwork.net. Join our community. It is free. You just type in ctnnetwork.net, and this is the homepage right here. And if you want to create an account, you would just click up here and create new account right here. Sign up with your email, or you can sign up with just clicking on Facebook or Google. So you can sign up with your Facebook account or your Gmail. So I'm already signed up, so I'm going to click in Gmail right here, and it's going to log me in. And as you can see, this is our homepage. Click on creators right here, and this shows you all the CTN family members that are content creators. Everybody is on here. If you want to go to one of their YouTube channels, for example, if you want to go to Crypto Talk Now, just click on channel, and it takes you right over to the YouTube channel for that particular creator. And you click on community. This is our community right here. We do have a forum, and this is a forum where you can post things, you can interact with one another. And there's also a blog right over here that we post our own content on. And if you click on CTN Studios, you can watch our live show and other content creators' live shows right through this CTN Studios. We do have advertisements for some of the content creators. There's the Crypto Smith, there's Waddy, the Crypto Hunter, and we also have live charts for the ISOs right in this box right here. We have a feature where you click on the heart if you want to donate to us. You can donate with Ethereum or Binance, BNB. And also, if you click on this button right here, we're going to have a call-in feature, which is already live. If you want to call us, just click on the green icon, the green phone icon, and click on Call Now. And during the show, between 9:15 and 10, when we announce it, when Max is on or when I'm on with Max, we will start accepting phone calls, and you guys can be live with the show. If you want to turn your video on, you can come on camera as well. So good stuff there. Now back onto the homepage. If you click on members, you can see all the people that are members here. All these people here, like Chaka just signed up, Gills33, Miguel. All these people here are members of our community. So you guys can sign up, and then you can chat with one another. So you can either click over here, message right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to welcome him. I'll send him a quick message, and then I can click enter or just a little arrow. If you want to message somebody else, you can click on message, or you can go right over here into members chat and go ahead and message them and create a new chat if you want by clicking this little button right here. Now also, if you scroll down here, you can see some of the past videos that our content creators in our content creator family have created. You can go in here and watch some of the recorded videos. They're scrolling down here. Just choose one to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this brief demo. Make sure you sign up so you can interact and be part of the community when we are not on the live show.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight for some more Crypto Talk Now for tonight's special, which is referred to as Let's Talk LCX with Ruell Black. Ruell, so glad to have you here tonight. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to be here. I'm glad to drop some knowledge on the people. So you guys know where you can find me right here at darkhorsewatcher.com. That'll go straight to my YouTube. And yeah, man, whenever you're ready, I'm ready to get the show on the road.
We'll definitely get into that here in a bit. But first, we're going to welcome our wonderful community that we have here tonight. If you haven't done so already, guys, please smash that like so we can get this out to a more broader base of viewers, listeners, watchers, whatever you want to refer to it as. And let's go ahead and start things off with the first comment of the day. But just a second, I want to remind people, The main emphasis of this particular show, kind of similar to what we do with, co-host Sean on Mondays and Wednesdays, like Utility Talk Now. The main focus will definitely be on LCX for tonight. While there's a lot of other things going on, this is one of the main things we're going to talk about. So let's get into the comments. And the first comment of the day is from JC the Man, son of the Cornwells. He says, hello, follow JC the Man, all one word on YouTube. You'd be more than ecstatic if you did that for him. Hello, JC. Thank you for being here. Crypto McDizzle says, yo, thank you, Mike. And I also want to welcome Mr. Selmo Flood. Good to see you, Selmo. Always appreciate it, brother. Damn, he says, is that Leroy? Face blue smiling because the emoji don't come up. But very cool stuff. McDizzle says HBAR's waking up 5% in 20 minutes. So you're watching obviously the 1 hour shot. That's awesome, Mike. Very cool stuff. Thanks for letting us know about that. We do have a little, I guess you could say, snippet, old tweet of Dr. Lehman Baird in a particular interview with Monty Metzger from LCX. That was from, Ruell here. So I was glad that he was able to bring that to us. Excuse me. You guys welcome each other, saying nice. I want to welcome. You guys are going to wait for it. You know it's going to come. Boomer effing sooner. Yes. Thank you for being here, Boomer. You guys, again, just welcome each other. This is good stuff. Someone wants to reiterate to all you guys, no to 30K Bitcoin. Not yet. It will go as high as 29 and then back down 26. Okay. Thanks for that info and that reiteration, Somo. Appreciate you. Boomer says, Mighty Max, thank you so much. Also want to welcome Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. Still can't say it like Larry, but yes, welcome, Mr. Lambo's. We'll read this statement. Crypto McDizzle says, this is a black weekend. The banks are going down. Like James Brown out of town on Greyhound, apparently. April 1st through 3rd. I got to think about it, guys. April Fool's Day. You know what I mean? Are we all going to become the fools?
Huh?
So it says April 1st through 3rd, you will be digitally banked. My God. McDizzle's causing panic. Even Mr. Lambos is asking about now. Not really. All right. So tomorrow night we need to stay up live. It's going to be crazy. That's his hint that he wants me to go WrestleMania 5-hour marathon. But anyway, and let's see here. Go read my Twitter. Yes. Go check it out if you choose to do so. I think I could just go ahead and share that real quick to what he's talking about. So just real quick. Yeah. Go ahead.
Note. The president of Kenya, there was some news. I don't know if you saw that, Maximus, but there was some news. The president of Kenya was like, to all my friends that keep their money in dollars, they might want to get it out of dollars in the next 2 weeks.
We shared some of that. So a lot of people saw that. But yeah, I'll pull up McDizzle's tweet. I'll retweet some of his stuff, but I meant to have that one primed and ready to go. We can always pull it up again. But yeah, there's other content creators that have definitely recognized it. So he tagged, and I'll share this real quick before we get into our outline. So McDizzle tagged, myself, Rich's Common Sense Crypto, a few other guys and so on. It was really cool to see that Rich recognized it. He apparently retweeted it. But here's what McDizzle's referring to. And here's the particular tweet, if you're wondering, guys. He says, these need to go together. Pay attention to what's upgrading. This is massive. Myself tagged Zach Rector. I mean, who doesn't know about Zach Rector by now? Bro, right. Peep this. Richard Common Sense Crypto. Another guy that, he's here who watches Mr. Dr. X Broadcasting, CryptX. Please put the math to this. This is it. I responded to it. I said basically action plus reaction equals ODL. What's he talking about? Let's blow this up. So it says online banking upgrade. Your new online banking and experience arrives March 31st. Basically, what's that? Like tomorrow? And let's go to the next page. What's shown here. You have Ripple's XRP versus the global transfer markets. I mean, maybe I could blow that up just a little bit more, and then we'll get more into our comments in here in a second. But let's see here. Share this tab instead. Here's what we're talking about, and look at the change of scale. So you have this Ripple, transfer markets. Or I should say, Ripple's XRP versus global transfer markets. This was in reference all the way back to 2018, February 2018. You have at that time XRP market cap 30 billion, Western Union 80 billion, global non-cash transactions, which represent 577 billion at the time. Then you have, for instance, Swift with 5 trillion per day. And look at this, something that, I'm glad that, people are starting to recognize a little bit more. The Nostra Vostra accounts, it's a big equation, 27 trillion at the time. I'm sure it's a lot higher than what it was back in 2018. And of course, what you see over here, where it says global transfer market, which represents, was a 2.7 quadrillion. So the key factor is, kind of like what I reiterated, right? And that is a little bit back to this particular tweet, and I'll show it again. Let me show this tab instead. Yeah, action plus reaction equals on-demand liquidity. So check it out for yourself, guys. Follow Crypto Mike if you haven't done so already. He is at Michael Cornwell, and he's very, very active on Twitter with the knowledge. All right, let's get back into the comments for just a brief bit. And let's see here. Let's see what we got. All right, so I want to welcome Ahmed. Thank you for being here. He says, hello to everyone. Cool Cat Crypto. Yes, stuff is getting real. Yes, it is. On top of that, we got, let me see. McDizzle is once again correct. Just going to read a few more. It's real, like it's happening. Yeah, get ready for it all. Brethren Selmo, hope you're doing okay, my friend. I hope you're doing well as well, Selmo. Cool Cat, welcome again. Glad to have you here. Ahmed dropped some knowledge, my guy. He definitely will. We'll get into that in just a minute. Just welcome a few more people. Want to welcome Tim Shea. Always says, hey, the crypto commissioner, the mayor of crypto's here. Brian Dowie, whose comments I will read. That's right. Good to see you, Brian. He wants to say sorry to you. So sorry, Ruell. I called you Leroy. My bad.
Nah, sorry. I didn't know you were talking to me. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day. I was like, Leroy Jenkins. The people know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're like, what is this guy talking about? All right, Kid Grebo. Peace, everyone. Salute, Ruell. Cool.
Frequent listener to my channel. What's up, Kid Grebo?
That's great to see. We always love seeing people from other communities, help and, pay homage and represent is the saying we go. And help you out with that. So that's very, very cool. Let's give Kid Grebo a warm welcome. I think I've seen you here actually before. So let's see here. I also want to welcome Mr. River. I'm sorry, but door-to-door salesman, I ain't answering it right now. Might just get up and answer the door. So let's see here. We got let's see here. JC, the man who wants to try to hit 100 subscribers tonight. You know what? Let's give him just a quick plug. So if anything, check this out. You can follow. We'll give a double whammy real quick. So who is Ruell, right? Mr. Ruell Black, and who is Mr. JC, the man? What we can do is go to ctnnetwork.net, and as you can see right here, after you make a free account, don't cost you anything. You do it with email. You could do it with you name it, right? Like Facebook, Gmail. You click on creators over here, and what's going to happen is this page will come up. You go to the bottom, not because it's not really in any particular order, right? You will see Ruell Black's channel. You could click on that. It'll take you right to his channel. So just do that real quick, and you'll see that when you click on it, this will come up. Here's his channel. He's at about 1.5K subs. He covers, all sorts of things, like apparently like Litecoin, Binance, LCX, obviously, XRP, some of the ISOs, Very cool stuff. He keeps up with the, the modern things that you see here. And let's see here. One of his biggest hits apparently was about stocks back in the day. Wow, over 6,000 views on that one. Talked about veracity like we did a while back. So, he even covers Telcoin. That's one that we were going to do a deep dive about. Glad to see you covered Audius, man. I'm really happy about my Audius. On top of that, he does live shows. Apparently, he did one about 23 hours ago about the world's biggest population ditches. But let me just take a moment because I also want to recognize JC the Man. Just talk about your channel just for a brief moment. Give us an intro.
Okay. If you can go to the homepage and
Sure.
go scroll down to a couple of the top playlists. You just scroll down. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go that way too. We have like LCX shows there, LCX partners.
Oh, I see right here. Yeah.
Some of the best crypto sectors for 2022. They work as well for 2023. Metaverse crypto plays, etc. Yeah. So we talk a lot about CBDCs and crypto. All those are great videos. I think I also have something on there for beginner crypto people. So yeah.
All right, cool stuff. So on top of that, you can check out this guy who is JC the Man. The guy's like, yeah, I am the man, because he is the man, Mr. JC the Man. You can go to his channel and let's see here. And yeah, I did see he ticked up a little bit. So you got like 3 more subs. Of course, he would love to get, up to 100. That's a big goal, and rightfully so. He did upload. Hey, you know what? You got a few extra hits here. Man, 1,400 says funny. All right, let's check this out. Maybe it might feature Mike Cornwell real quick. So we'll show this real quick. Promise we'll get into the news and all that stuff. Let's check this out real quick. Oh, shoot.
Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. John wasted time.
I get it. 2-week-old refrigerated pie. What a way to die. That's horrible. But you got some good views on it, man. Cool. Yeah, give him a follow. JC the Man. And it's all one word. And help a brother out. Let's see him at least tick up to maybe 75. That'd be pretty cool. I'm sure he'd be ecstatic. All right. So I'm going to stop the share on that. And we're just going to recognize just a few more people, I'm sure, that came in, like River. Thank you for being here. GS. Selma Fudd, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. Brian, yes, I'm down with XRP. You know me. Selma Fudd, man, you rock, man. You have been a long time supporters. I think late April, if I'm not mistaken, of last year. So we're approaching that 1-year mark. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Just gonna see if there's just a couple more people. Patrick Collier, thank you for being here. Let's see here. Brian is giving you dabs.
What's up, Brian?
Yeah, very cool stuff. Patrick is in the office on the road. What's up, guys? Thank you for that. Stevie is in the house. Everybody's recognized that H-bar is starting to go nuts. We'll take a look at that in a bit. In fact, we'll share that as I'm going through the comments. Let's see here. H-bar real quick. Oh yeah, it is starting to wake. Awaken the sleeping giant. All right. So there it is. We'll keep that up on the share. Also want to welcome. I did welcome Stevie. Good to see you, Stevie. My favorite avatar. I'm just gonna be honest. That's my favorite avatar, man. Very cool to see you here, Stevie. XXI Gaming. What's good, Brian? What's good, Tim? And let's see here. Why is H-bar going nuts? Maybe we can get into that. McDizzle says on the first pick, look who posted it. On the first pick, look who posted it. Oh, I think you're referring to that tweet. We did share that tweet. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get back to what you're talking about just for a brief moment. I have to look up McDizzle again. Let's see. Oh, about the whole thing with it. Maybe talk about the whole thing with H-bar. Anyway, check this out. Here's from McDizzle. H-bar is on the. Says the price is up 5.58% in the last 22 minutes. Of course, this is a few minutes ago. Price of you know, like you see again. So that's cool. Shout out to McDizzle. Just go ahead and leave that up there for a brief moment. Thank you so much for $2 super chat. Let's see. Brian Dowie says all ISOs about to pump real soon. Crypto Homes, welcome. If I skipped anybody, was not an intentional. They're good problems. Let's see here. Oh, Menelec is here. Hello. Is it Menelec you're looking for? Lionel Richie. Yes, bringing the tradition back. Let's see. Crypto Homes 777. Thanks for being back here. Like Veracity, they are doing buy and burns every quarter. Let's see how we're doing on the time. About 21 minutes in, so we really need to get into our outline because I don't want us to be here all night, especially want to respect Mr. Ruell Black's time here. Coochie Boy's here. He's saying sup to me and sup to you, Ruell.
Love that name, man. I love that name.
You know what? Here's the thing. All right, so it's not quite what you think it is, and he's explained it. He has a story backlog about it. Yeah, but every now and then somebody likes to point that out, like, yeah, I see what's going on here. All right, yeah, all right, you know, but it's okay. And I'm sure you could take that. So good to see you here, Coochie Boy.
That it was like organic, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah, when I first what you want to call it, met, you know what I mean, like not in person, but you know, we had a Coochie Boy come on, you know, in the comments and so on. I was just like, what's going on here? You know, like, oh man, somebody must have had some fun back in the day, or still is. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. All right. All right. But he has a cool story about it. Not is it like the kids would say, like, cool story, bro, but it was actually a really cool story. All right, Menelec says MasterCard's partner migrated to Hedera. And let's see where we're at. See, I'm just trying to make sure I welcome some people. All right, hold on a second. Crypto McDizzle says Max on the post from that Rich from Constance Crypto, like, who posted the article. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can recognize that real quick.
Also, things like the POTUS said something about Hedera. Either yesterday, I think it was.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Let's see. Well, I don't have that one about Rich from Common Sense Crypto. I had that screenshot you gave me. But nonetheless, maybe I just pull up Rich real quick. Yeah, I think I just do that real quick. Hold on a second. Aha! Yeah, there it is. That's cool stuff. So, does it show this right now? I'm on that page, am I? Yep, I am. So here's what he's talking about. You know, it is cool to you know, give recognition. You know, especially like Mike Cornwell has been a long time follower of Rich Common Sense Crypto, and yeah, he retweeted this. So I mean, people are paying attention. Just like if you missed it, you just connected. Let's feature Mike real quick. I mean, you know, it's nice to recognize members of the community. We'll reiterate it. These need to go together. Pay attention to what's upgrading. This is massive. He takes me, obviously Zach Rector, wants Rich Common Sense Crypto to peep what he has. Because here's the thing, Rich does go to crypto Twitter, and he makes it part of his outline. So it'd be really cool to see his newest XRP video feature Crypto Mike. That'd be really cool, Mike. But anyway, here's what he's talking about. Your new online banking experience arrives March 31st. And when you go to the next page, look what it says for Ripple, right? Ripple XRP versus the global markets. We gave you a little bit of a breakdown, zoomed in on that, but super cool stuff. I went ahead and, you know, retweeted my answer to it was action plus reaction equals ODL, and rightfully so. All right. So I think we welcome enough people. As we see a few more answer, we'll get into the outline. But we're going to jump first into our particular outline. So just like the title reads, let's talk LCX with Mr. Ruell Black. And yeah, we're going to jump into that outline right now. Just give me a second. I'm going to make sure that we have the right bookmarks going on and so on. So the first thing we're going to jump into is this whole interview with Mr. Monty Metzger and Mr. Dr. Lehman Baird. And it's from a while back. And some of you guys, you know, who are part of the community, you guys are really familiar with LCX. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even know about LCX. I've been more than glad to cover it. It is one of the top coins / tokens that we cover here at CTN. But here's a blast from the past, December 21st, 2021. We're going to play this real quick, and then we're definitely going to get Ruell's take and his outline for us here tonight. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and give this fellow brother part of CTN's family community. I want to welcome you. I consider you like family, man, now. And let's go ahead and give them a follow. Let's jump into this outline, the importance of tokenized assets in the tokenization future. Get a view from Dr. Lehman Baird, co-founder and chief scientist at Hedera Hashgraph at LCX Insights. Here we go.
How do you see the importance of tokenized assets and the future of tokenization?
Oh, this is a big deal. So I think that ultimately pretty much everything of value will end up being tokenized. It just makes too much sense. It's the same way that we used to do record keeping on paper, and it eventually all moved to computers just because it made sense. And we used to send information back and forth by mailing these shiny discs through the mail. How weird. Now it's all just over the internet. In the same way, ledger's going to end up tokenizing everything. What that means is traditional assets like stocks and diamonds and artwork are all going to be tokenized. But in addition, people are going to start tokenizing things that have never been tokenized before, like your own future revenue. Spencer Dinwiddie is doing that. That's going to be tokenized. People are going to be tokenizing things like a kilowatt hour of electricity combined with carbon credits to offset it, glued together. People are tokenizing that. People are going to be tokenizing complex derivatives and futures and sorts of things. All of these things are going to be tokenized. Things that haven't been tokenized before. Spencer had tokenized the ability for people to influence which shoes he wears at the next game. This is not something that has ever been a market before. And so the ability to tokenize things and to send little tiny fractions of a value. I didn't even say that about the diamonds. Maybe I could buy a cup of coffee with a millionth of a diamond. You can't do that today. If I have a diamond, I can't really go to Starbucks and hand them a millionth of a diamond. But you can do that with tokenization.
Some great points made here. I like that breakdown from Dr. Lehman Baird. Ruell.
So perfect segue with Hedera doing as well as it is right now. But tokenization, right? It now makes it so that everything can be tokenized. And what have we been seeing in the last couple of weeks? Banks having liquidity problems. So imagine now that we can tokenize a country is oil rich, right? Now they can tokenize their oil, right? Another country, they're rich in, say, lithium or something. They can tokenize their lithium, and so on and so on and so on, right? But then when it comes down to us, we could tokenize, say your car if you owned a Tesla or whatever, or say you owned a really popular NFT, a Bored Ape or something like that. You can tokenize that. And like he was giving the example of diamonds, of course, we know that LCX has the Tiamons product where they're tokenizing diamonds. So imagine you're tokenizing your Bored Ape or something like that. Now you can go and actually buy coffee with it, do different things with it. So it really injects a lot more liquidity into a market with the tokenization. And something to kind of follow that up with is the JP Morgan article, which is the next one adding on to this. And JP Morgan is one that we always think about, right? As in Jamie Dimon saying crypto is a pet rock, right? But here you see JP Morgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi, which DeFi, again, is something that we hear okay, they don't like DeFi because it challenges their banks. However, it seems like they want to bring tokenization to DeFi. What does that look like? Maybe it's not DeFi, maybe it's CeFi DeFi, but it goes against everything that we hear said in this article. We hear JP Morgan saying they want to tokenize assets and bring them to DeFi. And again, that backs up exactly what Monty and Lehman Baird said right there in that video.
Yeah, absolutely. While we're playing the last part, we had the other particular article I just pulled up. I was trying to find something in regards to that was modern for tokenization, and then that other particular article came up as well. And we'll get into that, but you know, it's a little reiteration of what Ruell is talking about here. I mean, yeah, this was posted, I believe, back originally in June of 2022. But yeah, JP Morgan wants to bring trillions, you read that right, trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to decentralized finance. Like it also mentions the bank's recent tokenization of money market funds with BlackRock dovetails with an institutional DeFi project led to basically the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And we know already Singapore's stance on how they look at crypto. I mean, you got to look at it from the perspective of they're a standout city / country, if you will, when it comes to being pro crypto. And of course, some people may say, well, why take a look at in the past, this is an old article. The reason why you want to do that is because you have a broader perspective of what is going on in the now. Where it also says, over time, we think tokenizing U.S. treasuries or money market funds shares, for example, means that they could all potentially be used as collateral in DeFi pools. The overall goal is to bring these trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi. You just heard Dr. Lehman Bear mentioning, like, when we talk about tokenization, you are talking about a lot of the physical goods, for instance. He literally mentions, diamonds. Are we going to be able to properly tokenize that, or are we just bringing the physical asset and trying to somehow break that apart? No, we're not breaking it apart. We need some kind of mechanism or something in place to get that done. But yeah, there's a lot that's obviously here. You can totally elaborate on some of this if you want.
He also mentioned Spencer Dinwiddie doing, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with NBA. He's an NBA player.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. Heck yeah.
But like he mentioned him like basically doing tokenizing future earnings, right? Which is essentially a loan, right? But it's something interesting to think about. And something a lot of people may not know also, which is an aside to this conversation, but JP Morgan's really kind of the money man behind Ethereum. So they're kind of mentioning like JP coin, and a lot of that technology JP Morgan kind of donated to Ethereum, but that's also a thing that's kind of known too. But yeah. And then I guess the next thing would be to point out how LCX is really going to be central in CBDCs. And there's another article coming up here that I have with Quant and LCX's partnership. So Quant uses LCX as a partner to enable distributed ledger interoperability. I know you guys are really big on Quant on the channel, so I don't need to explain it, but you can see right here in the kind of little blurb, Quant chooses LCX as a partner to enable distributed ledger interoperability. Quant and crypto asset pioneer LCX partnership will further accelerate the progression towards central bank digital currencies. Amazing, right? And I think this is from like maybe 2021. So this was before CBDCs were even a hot topic.
Yeah, this is why we do some of these things, because I mean, like I just mentioned earlier, it gives you a blast from the past. It gives you a bigger perspective of, what they said that they were going to accomplish. And then you could take, recognition of that and say, you know what? Wow. It's like, yeah, you might have been like the type of person which you kept up with all the articles or all the tags of Monty Metzger, you name it. But when you go back, it's like, wow, here's what they plan to do. Here's where we're at now. And it's big. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge. And I don't know if you guys know this, but LCX is also a member of the World Economic Forum. You can go check out Monty Metzger's LinkedIn, and you'll see right there that he says, LCX, member of the World Economic Forum. So when we think about the world and we think about how everything shakes down, LCX being a member of the World Economic Forum, the World Economic Forum we know has a lot of pull in worldwide events, right? We just got through reading an article with JP Morgan, which is like the biggest bank in America, BlackRock, who also is like one of the biggest companies in America with $10 trillion under their management. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink sits on the board of the WEF. So LCX is all in with all of these different members. Like you gotta think that an exchange like that really values regulation and is connected to all these different people really has a bright future.
They surely do. I mean, that's the way I look at it as well. I mean, for a lot of us, we miss Bitcoin in 2010, or another example that we give here frequently. We talk about the whole thing with Quant is like, I remind people of Quant is like your second chance at Bitcoin at $100. You know what I mean? Like that was back in 2013. There was big liftoff from there, from 2013 to that big jump. I think it was from 2013 to 2017, roughly, where we saw Bitcoin go from like $100 up until like, I think it was like 1,300 or whatever the next big jump it was from there on top of that. So these big giant leaps, right? But the key thing for me, at least, is what you see right here on this particular quote. We will read this real quick. Some of you guys seen this. Some of you guys are new to LCX. So smash that like if you haven't done so already. Look at this quote. We aim to utilize this partnership with LCX to demonstrate the immense value of interoperability, right? Quant's always going to pound that home. For the financial services sector, we'll combine and interconnect different blockchains to unlock the value of our users and provide additional value to the fast-growing LCX ecosystem. Of course, says Gilbert Verdian of Quant. One of the key things I just want to mention real quick before we get more into this particular outline is, we talk about the whole having a second chance at Bitcoin at $100. Well, how about this? We all know about Binance. Who doesn't know about Binance? But one of the key things to missing out on the boat, if you will, when it came to Binance getting in early, is even though that they're way higher in market cap and technically the biggest exchange and so on, how would you like to not just have a second chance at Bitcoin with Quant? How would you like to have a second chance at something that has the potential, already has the potential of being more significant than Binance? Yes, you heard me right. I did state that. Because when you think about utility, what does Binance bring to the table as far as utility? Last I checked, and this is not me fudding Binance, the only utility there is if you hold BNB, you get a discount on the Binance exchange. If you look at LCX, they bring a whole slew of things to the table as far as the tokenization of bonds, the tokenization of anything and everything, but standout ones like, the Diamonds project, for instance, right? The tokenization of diamonds. I'm going to read one more thing. This is a great quote, and it's great that, look at some of this stuff. This is from Monty Metzger. We do share the same vision of building a bridge between the traditional financial markets and future blockchain-based monetary systems. Think about what's going on with the monetary systems as we speak. Quant has built the foundation technology solution for DLT interoperability, which is important for the growth of LCX and the industry as a whole. I couldn't agree more. We'll get into some of this outline about the strategic alliance, but I mean, do you hold BNB by any chance, Ruell?
I have some of it because
Okay.
I'm always on there, like dealing with something on the Binance Smart Chain, and you gotta use it to switch into stuff. But interesting thing to say about this. On my channel, guys, I have a video. There's actually prior beef, if you will, cooking between CZ and Monty Metzger, because LCX, when it was first invented, was supposed to be LCX Binance. So if you actually go like search my videos and type in Binance, it might actually come up. So yeah, that's it right there. And if you look behind CZ's head, you see it says Binance LCX. So there is actually a beef brewing between these two men over what was supposed to go down. And apparently, CZ didn't do things to a regulated form the way that Monty wanted, or the way maybe the WEF wanted. Who knows, right? But it goes over some of it in the video. So understand, when people always compare Binance and LCX, there's an existing relationship or hatred or beef there, if you will.
Jeez, it's one thing to have an East Coast, West Coast war back in hip hop back in the day, which, God, it's horrible that happened, because R.A.P. Tupac and Biggie. But
Right.
literally, what was it like? Liechtenstein, is it technically Eastern Europe? I can't remember, but anyway, if it is
Yeah, there
Eastern
you
Europe,
go.
I'll have to double check. You know what I mean?
Yes,
In
there
the
you go.
Western world, right? So there you go. One side of the world versus the other. But crazy stuff to see that. Yeah, I almost want to yell out, as in CZ, Papa Doc, what you gonna do? I always say that here once in a while, but it is interesting. Do you have any key highlights from that particular video that maybe we could jump into? Because that is interesting. I just learned something new. I didn't know that these two had beef. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Just that I go into some tweets where they're back and forth, like, okay, you were supposed to do this, and we had problems with this. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to make any assumptions. You guys just watch the video and you'll get it straight from their tweets.
That's
back
cool.
and forth to get each other.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to watch it sometime and highlight some key areas. But let's jump back into the comments just for a brief bit. We do have a lot more in regards to our outline. I saw the great Quant Papa's in the house. Thank you for being here, Mr. Quant Papa. I did put out a recent Quant video. I haven't had a chance to share it on crypto Twitter yet, but let's jump back into the comments. A lot of comments, obviously. So, good problems we have. Let's take a moment to jump back to that. Let's see where we're at. All right. So going further down, let's see. We have, we're going to talk about LCX at some point. Yes, we definitely got into that. We were just welcoming the community and so on. I want to welcome Stump Rider. Thank you so much for being here. He says hi, Max and Ruell.
What's up?
All right. And then let's see here. We have Crypto McDizzle says Nordstrom banking. This is because he's going to mention LCX here in a bit. Then look at the big red tower. It's Nordstrom. Nordstrom is about to pump quadrillions onto the digital banking sector. This makes a difference to LCX big time, as it's a bank. It's about to blow as well. That's a good point. All right. Let's see here. Twitch Radio. Want to welcome you. Thanks for being here, Mr. Twitch Radio. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Chaka says great stream. Thanks, Chaka. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Check out Chaka Crypto if you guys haven't done so. Drop him a sub. But most importantly, like Sean the Crypto Smith, another guy you should follow, is, it's one thing to sub, but it helps if you do watch the content, or if you comment, especially triggers that algorithm after you like it. So like this stream, if you haven't done so already, let's try to get out to more people. I did say I think at one point we were close to 60 or whatnot. So decent numbers tonight. Cool Cat says, is it wrong? I watched the whole Twilight series again and liked it. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. So GS says XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR. Welcome again, GS. Thank you for that. P Nice, welcome back, man. He says, hey yo, XLM. Yes. Last XLM, you know what? Our XLM video has been doing really well. A lot of times, our channel, or some people say, you guys do well on your quant coverage, your Jasmine coverage, but it's our XLM coverage. And I think that's just about any content creator. If you bring the heat or the fire when it comes to XLM, it's kind of like crypto, supply and demand. Like, people want to hear more about XLM. So, thank you for pointing out. P Nice, welcome. Let's see here. Left for 5 minutes now. I'm lost. I think you're referring back to the back and forth conversation with maybe Crypto McDizzle. Sean the Crypto Smith says, hi, Max, the CTM fam. And I want to take a brief moment. Thank you, Sean. Hello to you too, to you as well. Let's take a brief moment. I want to make an announcement for Sean. This is breaking news from Sean, the Crypto Smith. So he has an announcement, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So I'm just going to say it verbatim because, I mean, I don't think he has a video out. He has some breaking news. So breaking news, Cypherium has been, listen to this, guys, delisted from the Fed Now showcase. He's recording a video now in regards to that. So, I mean, if you aren't following Crypto Smith, fellow co-hosts on Mondays and Wednesdays for Crypto Talk Now's Utility Talk Now, or following him, you know, just on his platform, watching his videos. He does a live show on his platform once a week called Straight Talk. Yeah, like what Ruell said, like, wow, you know, whoa, you know, yeah, that's huge news. That's big news. So, you know, he's going to drop the video in 30 minutes. I'll have to review it. I think we should all review it. And of course, if anything, draw your own conclusion. If you're still going to stay in, I don't know. I might be one of those type of guys in which I still have to stay in. There has to be something there. And I'm sure Crypto Smith can respect this. This goes for anybody. There has to be something really, really there to make me want to, like, oh God, I'm gonna get out of this. But that's interesting. That's a bombshell. So he's dropping 30 minutes. If that video doesn't get a lot of views, then the system's rigged. So yeah, I wanted to basically share that with you guys. Let's see here. P9 says put XLM chart up. XLM chart up live 13 cents. Let me see where we're at on that particular one. So let me see if I can do that. Just a second. So we can pull up XRP real quick. Or did you just say XLM only? Hold on a second. Put XLM chart up. All right, we'll just do XLM.
11 cents or like 10.8.
Yeah. Well, it's also CMC. So let's go ahead and share it real quick. Represent that. Here you go. We'll get more into like the candle chart in a second. Yeah, up 7.49%. Switch to the candle. And let's see here. Yeah, interesting to see what's going on with that. Maybe I could pull it up just from like KuCoin or something like that real quick. Just look a little bit better. Let me pull that up. But yeah, cool stuff to see when it comes to any of this, right? So it's like, you know, you got to follow market movement. You got to see what's going on. A lot of you guys, you know, we watch charts from, you know, a little more detailed than the next guy, which is fine. Let me do the pairing. Let's pull up XLM. XLM. Let's see what we got. We'll do the pairing with USDT. All right, let's pull that up. So let's share this tab instead. And oh God, look at that. That's on the 2 hour. All right, not too shabby. It's having a nice breakout. So it's nice. Looking. You don't have to be the most technical savvy guy to understand this. We'll leave this up there for you guys. Right. Let's go further down in the comments. And let's see here. Twilight was better than you remember. Well, you know what? The only one I ever saw was the first one. I never saw the rest of them, but I didn't think the first one was a bad movie. I know it gets a lot of heat, like, oh, bro, you're a feminist now. If you like that at all, I don't know. I just the first one, it was okay. I'm just gonna say that. I didn't think it was a bad movie. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean, bro.
What kind of guy didn't get stuck seeing that? It's like you get stuck seeing shows with your kids and stuff like that, or you know, or your family members and whatnot. I should say, stuck with your kids seeing. You know, you're with your like. What if a person has a son or daughter, or you know, some of you guys grandchildren? You get stuck with and again, I don't mean this in a bad way. Watching Frozen for the 100th time. So, at what point did you not have a date where you didn't get stuck with seeing at least one of the Twilight movies? So,
yeah, exactly. That's probably how I watched number one. I don't think I've seen. Maybe I saw two, but yeah.
And how about this?
Just because of what you said. And
how about this? Yeah, some people say, well, like my mom, you know, like she made this back when she was alive. She made this good debate. She's just like, if for everybody it's like making fun of the Golden Girls, she's like, in reality, who doesn't like the Golden Girls? Even guys like the Golden Girls. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Guys do like Golden Girls because it's funny. They're funny old women with some great jokes. Anyway. All right, Magic Powers here. He says the SEC wants all tokens to be securities, but in reality, all securities will be tokenized. BlackRock is preparing for it. I'm glad you mentioned that because on our particular outline, we're going to get into LCX's stance when it comes to being recognized as securities. If anything, they embrace it. So, you know, they kind of go against the grain, but they embrace it. And it's kind of like some people say catch-22, but it's really not. And we'll show you some of those particular quotes here in a bit. And some of you guys already know about this, obviously, but yeah, it's part of our outline. So thank you for being here, Mr. Magic Power. He also says, hello, guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. Jesuit in the house. I was supposed to do that. Anyway. Boomer F and Center, I watched Young Guns 1 and 2 today. Cool. Heard that there will be Young Guns 3. I've been hearing about Young Guns 3 since I was literally a kid. I mean, that'd be cool, but I wonder if they're going to do like I wonder how that's going to go. So Young Guns 1 was my favorite one. Young Guns 2 was all right, but you know, nobody knows for real if Pat Garrett really let Billy the Kid go. But you know, if he was your brother and you loved the guy, you would have make it appear that way. But who knows? Only God knows. You know what I mean? Cool Cat Crypto. Oh man, I love Young Guns. Yeah, those are some fun movies, man. When I was a little kid, like back in the 80s, I always like everybody was, you know, we had our little cap guns back then before cancel culture and all that. And we used to always pretend that we're, you know, Billy the Kid or some other famous Wild Western guys, right? You know, Doc Holliday, you know, it's not the same group of guys. I know that. Little known fact, I've been to Tombstone, Arizona a few times, and guess what? There really is bullet holes.
Smith. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. No, there's really bullet holes in the ceiling of the Birdcage Saloon. So if people are wondering, I wonder if, you know, that's just all Hollywood and maybe Tombstone. It's not Hollywood. It's verifiable. And it was pretty crazy seeing that. But yeah, thanks for subbing to Ruell. We're going to get back into our outline here in a bit. Just welcome a few more people and recognizing some questions. Salamander, sorry, I missed your super chat. How long? Not that big of a delay. $2 super chat. XRP, XDC, XLM, Quant, Algo, HBAR, Casper. I hope all those as well. Thank you for your ongoing support, Salamander. Really appreciate it, man. And let's see here. Yep. Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Christian Slater. You know what?
I might have seen that. Been a long time.
Yeah.
Like lately, I'm more of an anime guy. I love.
Right. My thing is, Attack on Titan, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if you haven't seen this Christian Slater movie, check out. What's it called? Cleaning or Gleaming the Cube. It's a skater movie, but man, that was a really cool movie, I thought. All right. Let's see. We have a few more people. Hey, Quant Papa, I'll read your comment. Thank you again for being here, guys. Follow Quant Papa on Twitter if you haven't done so already. As I would say, part of the Quant All-Stars. Him, Greg Lunt, Quant Toronto, Tokenizer. By the way, Tokenizer will be your special guest on Tuesday unless something changes. Really looking forward to that. Well, really then you need to show up to that one, man. Let's see here. So Quant Papa says, I hope LCX is going to make its own blockchain like BNB. Long ago, BNB was an e-token. Then they made their own blockchain. If LCX made their own blockchain, I believe it can hit 3 figures. And you know what? That's a very good point.
I got some information on that. If you bring up that parity article.
Yeah, I think that's one of the next ones on the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on a second. So the parity one. Oh, yep, I got it right here. Okay. Yep, here it is.
Okay, you might click in there where it says LCX chooses a Polkadot to advance their security token standard. It's a link right above, right there, right? No, below, right there.
Okay.
There we go.
So you want to just click on this one?
Yep.
All right, I'll just share this tab instead. Let that load up. There we go. All right, yeah, let's get back into this outline. So take it away.
So if you scroll down just a little bit here. So if you guys don't know, LCX does have an aggregator, and that aggregator is built on Polkadot. Now, if you scroll down just a little bit more.
Okay, just a second.
Right there. So I believe it's this paragraph right here. A critical component of the LCX infrastructure, the Liechtenstein protocol, A proprietary protocol to deliver a chain-agnostic token standard will be built on top of Polkadot's blockchain solution. So to me, I'm reading that as that they're going to get a parachain and be built on Polkadot. So to me, it's right there. The Liechtenstein protocol aims to leverage Polkadot network to strengthen a solution that will enable token issuers to assess secure, reliable, transparent, and compliant infrastructure for digital securities. So to me, it's like right there, like that eventually they build the Liechtenstein protocol on top of Polkadot's blockchain solution.
Yeah, it's really impressive stuff, to say the least. You know, we'll get back into our particular outline. I do want to recognize this individual because he just put in a super chat. Let me go ahead and highlight that real quick. Sure. And it's from, I believe it's from IMDPP. Let me see. Yes, it is. So thank you again for your ongoing support, IMDPP. It says LCX will eventually have its own blockchain. So, you know, this is a reiteration of what Quant Papa was just talking about here briefly with his previous comment before this one. So, I mean, you know, Ruell, I did state that these guys know they're LCX. Here's the proof. All right. So, yeah, thank you so much again for your $10 super chat. Let's jump into, I think you actually sent me a DM on the CTN forum. See how that works, guys? You know, not too bad. Let's pull that up real quick. I think he has some info. So he does. I guess I'll just go right ahead and read this verbatim. And let me see here. So he states on this particular DM, LCX, part of LCX's long-term plan, LCX plans to apply for several licenses, including a banking license. This is where you guys have been saying, especially Mike Cornwell, there's some of you other guys that have been saying this as well, that AMAX, gotta look more into LCX. Why is that? You kept saying that they're going to become, quote unquote, a blockchain bank. That was something that got brought up numerous times. Mm-hmm. So the aim is to offer transaction banking for companies and individuals with a strong focus on corporate. This, again, comes from a statement on a DM from IMDPP. Like he mentions, LCX will be a blockchain bank. And then he says, LCX has a plan of having its own blockchain like XDC did. And keep in mind, XDC was originally a fork from Ethereum. And look how that turned out. Turned out beautifully, right? And then on top of that, and we, of course, cover LCX quite a bit as well. He says he got this from their tokens page, LCX, the Liechtenstein Exchange Crypto Assets Exchange is a blockchain ecosystem offering a cryptocurrency exchange, advancing trading software, and blockchain-related services as a regulated and compliant, trusted technology service provider. I mean, think about all that's mentioned there. So, I mean, they're trying to be, you know, when it comes to regulatory compliancy, they're recognizing that. They don't want anybody to go after them. If anything, they're embracing it. I mean, some people say, well, don't embrace it. But in reality, in some cases, they need to. And understand this, guys. We haven't even talked about this yet. Where they're positioned in the country of Liechtenstein. You know what I mean? When you look more into why that's significant, it has a lot to do with the understanding of the applicable laws of that particular country, of Liechtenstein. So thank you again for the super chat. Go ahead.
Monty Mesker has mentioned before that the European MiCA used them kind of as a guinea pig in order to write all their crypto laws. And it's going to come up in one of our articles later where it's going to say that they were passported for something. That whole term was something that came up from the European MiCA observing LCX and basically giving them the ability to say, regulate something once and then use a passport so they can use it in any other place of the European Union. So that's going to come up later in one of the articles we read.
When I think of passports, I mean, you know, that's another thing we cover is Nexera with Alliance Block. You know, what they got with what they have going on with that Nexera ID, that's big in itself. We were talking about, I think about a week ago, and before that, this whole thing of, you know, we're talking about tokenization of bonds. How about the tokenization of like NFTs, but in the forms of like, you know, an actual passport to be used at the at these airports where you have the transparency because you have this, I guess you say, this mechanism that can be transparent because it's all on blockchain, right? So it's cool stuff. All right, we're gonna jump into back into this outline that we have. I'm just gonna see where I am on the comments real quick, and we'll get into some more comments here in a bit. I love that Tim Shea always on top of things. Look at that, man. He don't need nobody needs to tell Tim Shea. Boom, there you go.
Tim Shea, thank you.
You know, yeah, absolutely. Actually, I will read a couple more comments here just for a bit. I want to welcome Mr. Miguel. Says, hi, bro. Glad to have you here. You need to get some more H-bar, he says. Cool stuff. We're going to read a few comments from Quant Papa. This is towards Ruell. He says, well, I'll let you take it away. You can read that one.
Yeah, 100% agree, Ruell Brock. Something went wrong between Binance and LCX. Laughing out loud. My bad. Binance found out LCX is going to take over.
All right. Quant Papa also says the CIO of LCX, he already talks metaverse in 2007. He has a video on YouTube about metaverse banking in 2007, pre-banking. Ooh, interesting. Well, how about this? While we get into this next part of our outline, and we'll have Ruell break it down for you guys, I'll try to see if I can pull that off YouTube and bring it to our community. That'd be super cool. All right. So is there any other particular areas you want me to highlight or draw our audience's attention to in this?
On that comment right there, something to note, when you go over to the World Economic Forum's website, one of the three biggest categories they have on their website is metaverse. So the other ones like climate change, and of course, Lehman Barrett got into it a little bit where he was saying tokenizing carbon credits to a kilowatt of energy. I don't necessarily agree in carbon, in the whole thing about having carbon credits for common citizens, but should that happen, that is something that may be tokenized, and we can just look at Energy Web Token, right? Energy Web Token is another one that's highly regulated, built on Polkadot, that's probably going to tokenize carbon credits and different energy assets, right? But yeah, that want to get to that, and then let's go over to. I think there's some new news coming up with Polygon. Polygon and LCX just had a partnership, pretty recent. I have a video on my channel that goes into the partnership. One of the things that really struck me about it is Monty Metzger speaking to a gentleman from Polygon, and he says that LCX has two different things that's going into. Not only CeFi, they're going into DeFi as well. And that really changed the game for me, because everything we hear again about DeFi is that DeFi is this big threat to banks. They're not going to like DeFi. They're not going to want it around. But yet here we hear from Monty Metzger that that's one of the focuses for LCX. We just shared an article where JP Morgan says that trillions is going to flow into DeFi and tokenized assets. We heard again from Lehman Barrett of Hedera saying tokenization is the next big thing. So DeFi is a big focus of these guys. So that is an area that we definitely should look at.
Yeah, very true. Guys, smash that like if you haven't done so already. Maybe we can, kick it back into the 60s. Is there that video you're talking about on your YouTube channel? Do you want us to pull that up? Is there any key highlighted area that you want to look at?
Yeah, we could pull that up. I wonder if I'm not sure exactly where I say that he's going to.
That's okay.
Bye.
Do you want me to do a search on this, or
yes,
you know where it's at?
It should be LCX Polygon. Should be.
So if I did a search right here, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second.
Maybe not.
All right, then I'll just type in LCX then. Hold on
Yeah.
a second.
LCX should probably do that.
All right. You just let me know which one it is, and we'll pull it up.
I think it's okay. I think it's the one above. I might have gone live when I said it. That might be
On a live one
yes,
instead of the
LCX.
videos.
It's that first one right there. I think.
Oh, this one. There was a huge LCX news breakdown
Yeah.
from a month ago.
You know what?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know where it is in there. Wait.
Oh.
Yeah. It should be. It should be. You'll see. Monty Metzger talking probably.
All right, let me just. Okay, I see this. Okay. Oh, you know what? We did this. We share this as well. Yeah, we have this whole thing about this as well. Well, it's all right. We'll share yours. Yeah, we covered this. See, we're on top of it too, Mr. Ruell. You know what I mean? We did share this as well. But it's a great reiteration. Let me see how far ahead I got to go on this one. So let me see.
Then I'm going to come back and play it again
All right, hold on a second.
and say some very choice points about what he said. Okay, so let's enlarge this. Well,
Yeah, we'll play this.
before that, we'll actually want to make sure that the volume's turned up. Boom, boom, boom. Volume's up. Volume's up. Full screen. This seems like a good point. Me too. Okay, so here we go. Boom.
Uh-oh.
Is it not playing? Oh, geez.
That's all right. That's all right.
I think I must have played it later because I think
No,
somebody.
I'm not gonna act like a kid, be like epic fail. No, I'm kidding. What
Sorry
we'll do
about
is,
that.
nah, don't worry about it. You know what? We'll pull it off of ours because we don't do things like that. I'm kidding. That's bad too. What we'll do is we'll pull up our channel, and I believe I just gotta type in the same thing, like Polygon or whatever. Because we covered it not too long ago. And then we did a follow-up because they featured, believe it or not, remember when Elon Musk did the whole thing about Floki, his dog? All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did a follow-up in regards to that Liechtenstein exchange.
Oh man, that's another big thing. While you're
yeah, it
talking.
was. It was. Let me see if I can pull that up. So there's Polygon. I'm just gonna type in Polygon because I think that'll be quicker to pull that up.
That's a sneaky pick for me right there, Floki. I was so like when LCX listed Floki, I was like, okay, there's something going on here. And you can see Floki has like 30-something million locked up in one of DeFi in one of his projects.
Right.
Floki might be something this next bull run.
Yeah, no doubt. I have to go way, way back, but I know I have it in here, and I think I have it straight from like the actual record, not on a live stream. But that was pretty big. I want people to understand because I remember when that news dropped, it was kind of like something I hate to say, kind of flew under the radar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't enough coverage on it, but that was super cool. Because those are two big players, and to actually see. Actually, you know what? It was Monty Metzger. He did a live stream on YouTube just out of nowhere, and boom, like a whole bunch of people showed up to it. It was a pretty cool thing. Oh man, where the heck is this thing? You know what? Maybe we did something similar. You know what? I think, yeah. I don't think we have. Maybe I don't know. I'm not pulling up, but you know what? I'll try to pull up on Google. Let's see here. LCX Polygon. 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it now. I know where to fast forward because I remember. All right. Yep.
Okay,
I
perfect.
went ahead and fast forward it to this. So let me see here. He's going to be asked basically, what is the impact of the Polygon partnership? All right, I went ahead and fast forward. Smash that like if you haven't done so already, guys. Listen to this. If you're wondering, like, when did this happen? This was on February 16th, all right? We did cover this. LCX and Polygon partnership announcement. Monty Metzger and Polygon founder Antony Martin. Who doesn't know about Polygon, for crying out loud? You might not know about LCX, but you definitely, for the most part, I think most people know about Polygon. Let's go ahead and play this. Smash a like if you haven't done so already. We are with our very special guest, who is Mr. Ruell Black. Give him a follow, give him a like, and if anything, we appreciate him being here tonight, and you guys as well. We'll get back in the comments here in a bit. Let's go ahead and play this. The LCX and Polygon partnership. Here we go.
Services to do a token sale or an initial token offering the legal way. Talking about our partnership, Anthony, what's the impact of working with a regulated entity like LCX?
Yeah, I think for us as a Polygon, this is a very exciting project. I mean, we are really looking forward to how we can collaborate because, as I was saying before, no, if we want to become mainstream, we need to okay, we are very involved, obviously, in gaming, in NFTs, in DeFi, and here, obviously, DeFi is very involved here. But the fact that this entity is regulated, which means that we'll be able to reach out a bigger public and at the same time to start to bring this technology, that blockchain technology, to a mainstream opportunity. I think that's something that we are really looking for. I mean, there are a lot of myths and a lot of misunderstandings also related with blockchain and a lot of bad press. And a little bit, I think that we are bringing infrastructure. That's the most important thing. We are not speculating. And the most important thing is that we bring security, something that is cheap, something that works, and the collaboration with LCX should help us to prove that this is what we are bringing to the real world, and therefore we are really looking to see how this evolves, and for us it's a great opportunity to partner with you.
Great. Yeah, I think also as we are so close together locally, because we have an office in Zug as well in the heart of Crypto Valley, and then next door, for some
all right. So
far away from.
So the reason why I'm not playing the whole thing, because the next part basically is like what it says right here. It says Crypto Valley is key technology, hub for blockchain. I mean, you guys can totally go view this whole thing if you want. It's I don't know, it's about roughly 20 minutes. I remember when this happened live. It was really cool. I think what I just did is I shared it on Twitter originally. But we'll get back into our outline. We want to kick it back into the comments for just a brief bit to recognize a few more guys.
One thing on that thing, like one of the things he said was, well, Monty said it at the very beginning of the video, and the guy mentioned it a little bit in his speech. LCX has the ability to issue tokens legally. So they have the whole European MiCA like permission to legally issue tokens. So any of the tokens that they issue on their blockchain that they do through their launchpad is officially legal. So that's nothing that the SEC or anybody can challenge. So they're really technically the only person that can legally issue a token right now.
Yeah, it's because they're uniquely positioned with their country of Liechtenstein to be able to do that. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. So let's get back into the comments for a bit. And let's see. I want to welcome Mr. Michael Montclair. What up, my fam? Thank you for being here, Michael. Appreciate you, brother. And let's see here. I did welcome Coochie Boy earlier, but he's just, of course, saying what's up to Shock and all you guys. Appreciate that. Here's a statement in regards to XLM. So 10,000 XLM goal met. Yes, nice. Not too shabby, man. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Let's see here. Guys talking about that CPH from earlier. All right, CryptoSmith gives us an update. I mean, this was a little while ago. It was 6:48, so roughly about half an hour ago. Video will be live in a few minutes. Check it out after the stream. All right. Yeah, definitely do so, guys. Let's give him a quick plug. Mr. Sean, the CryptoSmith. We'll take a pause for station identification. So if you're wondering what the heck is Max talking about, or what is Sean talking about, Or for one, here's the creator section. So you go over to ctnnetwork.net, go to creators, drop on down to CryptoSmith. You click on channel, and it brings you to his particular YouTube. And hey, look at that. Congratulations, Sean. You did tick up to 1.8K. Right on, man. I'll be so happy for you to get to your next milestone, 2,000. Go ahead, Ruell. Sorry.
Oh, I said nice. I am definitely subscribed, guys. I love it. Love this channel.
Thanks, man. And we love you being here. So here it is, guys. Ethereum delisted from FedNow instant payments, addressing the FUD. You know, something about you just can't say FUD. You got to say FUD. All right. You got to. You know what I mean? It just has a certain ring. But I will definitely watch that from beginning to end. I'm not gonna just watch like a minute and fast forward. I'm gonna watch the whole shebang. So shout out to the Crypto Smith. And then later on, Sean, if you're still watching, if you're here, I'm going to retweet it. And then I'll give my 2 cents about the review and so on. Because why not? Commenting on a video definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm, guys. And smash that like when you watch it as well. Let's kick it back to a few more comments. So Cypherium was a scam. I don't know. I haven't watched that video. I do not know. I do not have the answer. I am personally invested into Cypherium. We'll see what happens. So let's see here. Mr. Salamander says, I knew it. So it's a scam after all. Hey, Twitch. Cypherium sucks. Coochie Boy, any thoughts? Hey, Sean, the Crypto Smith. GS says, XRP was always the big bad wolf. Yeah, but now everybody wants to sit with the nerds at the lunch table because the nerds are literally doing what? To provide that ODL, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Quant Papa, I don't want to FUD Cypherium, but I was thinking it's Luna 3. Why does everybody say? I should say, why is that? People are literally calling Cypherium. They're calling like Cypherium Classic now, and it's just it's bad.
Cypherium Classic. That's classic. I have to say, horrible
is what it is. Here I am laughing about bag that hole. Anyway, I'm glad. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not a person who's just, just completely dump my position on stuff. But anyway, all right, you guys giving each other dabs. I want to welcome back Olamide Adams. He sold it. Oh, okay. So maybe you did see that. Maybe you saw the news before then, or the case be. So this is news. I mean, people were like, "Nah, to heck with it." Trade for XRP or XLM. Good point. Mr. Lambos, damn, and other influencers were strongly supporting Cypherium. We covered it.
I covered it too. I got videos of Cypherium. Yeah, man.
And I just want to say, I mean, I think it was like this morning. I was over at a shout out to this lady. I think she's a good content creator, great content creator. Space Chick Crypto, right? So over there, she was, highlighting some of her showcase of like of her videos, right? So, and in that particular section, I was trying to draw attention because she was like, yeah, you guys do a good job covering quant. And I was like, yeah, click on, pop, the videos for what's popular. I'm like, yeah, 10,000 views. And she's like, oh, I see you guys also cover Saitama. And I was just like, yeah, we're not going to be the type of channel to hide that because, it is part of the learning experience. It is part of the crypto journey. So am I saying that this is part of our journey with Cypherium? I don't know yet. I have to review it. I mean, I can't just say that's the case. But obviously, yeah, we're not the only ones covered. You covered it. Other people covered it. Again, guys, what's the key thing here? It's part of the journey. So you live and learn. I'm not ready to hop on the bandwagon yet of I got to review it, basically. So
then too, covering it is one thing, and like getting private tokens and like shilling it on your channel is another. You know what I mean? Like none of us got tokens, like none of us were paid to shill Cypherium. So
yeah, I use my hard-earned money. I basically bought it. We're not sponsored by anybody here, of any project or anything like that. And there's nothing. I should say there's anything wrong. I mean, here's the thing, right? If we were sponsored by like Quant or something like that, I mean, are you kidding me? Like I'd be more than proud about that. But
right?
Like who wouldn't want some more Quant? Everybody wants some more Quant. Some people, yeah. Anyway. All right, Quant Papa says feels almost like the Fed tried to bait XRP holders into Cypherium before the pump. LOL. Yeah, it's a hot topic. We got to recognize it real quick. I know we're talking about Cypherium, but I mean not Cypherium. We're talking about LCX, but we're gonna get into some of this stuff just for a brief bit. You swap Cypherium for HBAR. Yeah, I remember Miguel, for instance. I mean, he was pretty hyped up. I don't mean this in a bad way, Miguel. I remember when you mentioned that you bought the dip. I think you bought on an 18% dip, my friend, and you bought, I believe, at least a second bag. Maybe it was more than a second bag. Maybe it was a third. Who knows? But the point is, people are DCing. So when some people see some of this FUD or bad news, whatever the case be, it gets people to go away from it. The same thing happened with, for instance, with ELBT with Xera, but that's a whole different situation. And again, I don't want to just make statements before reviewing the material. All right, Blackwood, I just did a record speed with withdrawal of everything I had on MEXC. They were nice enough to let me do it. All right, thanks for sharing all this. Yeah. Mr. Lambos, Quant Papa, that's exactly what I thought. All right, let's go further down. I'm going to read the statement and welcome Mr. Marvin Davis. What's going on, Max? Hey, man, welcome back. He's got 737,157 XDC. Man, you got me beat on that. That's nice. Yeah. 10,000. No, 104,717 X. Man, that's nice. That's
very impressive.
Like that almost is like whale status, in my opinion, or shark, or not a blue whale, but a killer whale. I guess I'll have to go check you out at SeaWorld or something. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Where is he saying, like, which one would you rather have? Because at the end, he said 4 BTC.
Well, you got all the numbers. My bad. Or 4 BTC. Forget 4 BTC. I'm going with those other ones. I'm going with the alts. I think you're going to have a. I get what you're saying, though. It's just like, well, if we hit 100,000 BT, a lot of that speculative. That's a good question, but you know what? 4 BTC. Let's say we do hit the price expectations of, let's say, a minimum of 100,000. So that's 400,000. All right. I'm going to go with if it's XRP at 104,717 XRP. Are you kidding me? Times 10,000 a coin. I know some people are like, you're nuts, but that's the way I believe. How about this? Even at 1K in XRP. Yeah, the altcoins outweigh that risk to reward ratio big time. Yeah, I'm going with the alts.
Just for the XRP and the XLM alone. But
hell, even XDC. Even XDC. I mean, I originally had it like as high as 20. Richard Common Sense Crypto, we were talking about him earlier. I've heard him mention at least 2 or 3 times $80 in XDC. Add it up. All I gotta say is add it up. So yeah, there's your answer. There's your answer, my friend.
For sure. Hands down. Hands down.
Yeah. Eddie T's back. What's up? He says, thank you for, man, Eddie T, you rock, man. You're like, if this was church, you'd be like that guy who's just always showing up to church every Sunday. So I love you, brother. Thank you so much. You don't need an avatar. We always say, consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. Eddie T is one of the exceptions. GS is one of the exceptions. It's like, people don't know who those guys are by now. If I don't know who those guys are by now, I'm not doing something right. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. Did I already do this one before? Maybe I did. But I want to welcome. I want to thank you again. I am DPP, and he did have some more information for us, and we'll get back into our outline. Ruell, let's check this out. So I am DPP sent me a DM in regards to this whole thing with LCX. We're gonna get into that in just a brief bit. So he obviously has some more, and I'll read some of this verbatim, and then I'll share the image he has. He states that LCX has a plan of having its own blockchain like LCX did, or XDC did. I think I read that part. All right. So he states that Ruell mentioned about LCX going in CeFi and DeFi. He found this in a PDF document published by the FSB from the Financial Stability Board G20 report, February 24th, 2023. It's an overview of the new global financial system. This is good stuff. We always appreciate this because this is something we do over here at CTN quite often, and we take deep dives into the material, all this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and download this real quick, and then if anything, I'm going to see if I can share this in a way you guys can see it. hopefully on my screen. Let me try to blow this up a little bit more. And if anything, let's see what we got here. Let me present this, share. I'm going to do entire screen. It's going to look kind of funky for a second. Sorry about that, but I'm just trying to pull it up. Do you see this image?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, I was just making sure. All right, so let's try to blow this up a little bit more. I think that's probably about the max. Oh, that's probably the max I can do. There we go. Okay, so figure 1, stylize the depiction of interconnections within the DeFi ecosystem and towards critical external players. Look at the breakdown that you have here, for instance. So he wanted us to draw our attention to what I mentioned with CeFi and DeFi. So let's take a look at some of this. We'll start off with the DeFi. And you can, you guys are smart. You don't have to, have me break it down completely, but it shows you like the routing, kind of like, think about how like, a network is set up, right? Or especially when it comes to a country, our country's network, right? You have like my internet connection from Phoenix. Is it really from Phoenix? No, it's technically coming from LA and it routes a different way. But my point is that, you see what's going on with DeFi. You see what's going on with, the traditional finance. I mean, how about this, guys? Alliance Block, the bridge between DeFi and traditional finance. So you have the banks, institutional investors on the far right, retail investors. Again, you can read this all yourself, but the point is you can see how this gives you a visualization of how this is all broken down. And even from the infrastructure services, we should pay attention to that. So what does that state? You have, for instance, the blockchain, the core software developers, the wallets, for example, MetaMask, and so on, cloud services, traditional databases, as in VC, central banks, pointing to some of these things from the financial markets. But it gives you a nice particular visual on how this is all done. If anything, I might go ahead and retweet this later after the show, because I have to figure out a way, since I just downloaded it to get it to you guys. But it's cool stuff, and it's a good visual breakdown in regards to this. We will get back into our particular outline, and give me just a second to pull that up because I gotta get out of this screen.
No worries.
And when I did that, it shrunk it down, right? So you did see that image. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Share screen. All right, cool. I think we're okay on that. So let me see where else, where we're at on the comments. And let's see where we're at. All right. So let me jump further back up into the comments just for a brief bit. All right. Want to welcome, or actually, I'm going to go further down. My bad. I thought I was like way up on the comments, but it's not too bad. I want to welcome Kev Cleveland. Thank you for being here. Cash Cats, I saw that you're here. Good to see you, my friend. Let's just see if there's any more specific comments. Glad you guys are welcome each other. Cool Cat Crypto says Polkadot is far better blockchain than Ethereum. That's for sure. Makes LCX more attractive. And also, Polkadot's a layer 0.
Yeah.
Smooth fan, yeah, but the LCX exchange isn't growing fast. It literally doesn't have good liquidity on its own token. Not a hater, just telling the truth. That's fine. My thing is this: if it's warranted FUD or just being objective, looking from, we do that. Who doesn't do that? So we're not the type of channel where we're like, oh no, you're not raw LCX. To hell with you. We're gonna cancel you like most cancel culture. Like this game I used to play years ago called Hogs War. Go away, you unpopular people who are not French. That's one of the characters who said. I know it sounds weird, but anyway, we don't do that here. Like,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, one of the characters in the game, he's like, "Go away, you unpopular people who are not French." So I'm not gonna do that to you, man. So it's cool. Let's see here. Cool Cat Crypto's XDC simply is ETH 2.0, the real ETH 2.0. But remember, Cool Cat, I'm sure you do remember this. Remember how people say that XDC is ETH 3.0? Remember that? That used to be a thing. Not many people are saying as much, but
I love XDC. I love
Yeah, I
it
do
how
too.
it's going to be like the settlement coin for R3's Cordia. Oh, that's so huge.
Corda, yeah. Yep. There's all sorts of, terms that are like so similar. If you think about like, that people can't get confused about, like, for instance, was it JP Morgan's quorum, and then there's corium. And sometimes people think that, because the way I roll it off my tongue, some people are like, oh, Max, you have an accent. I'm like, I do. But, it's like, no, there's quorum, there's corium, there's so many terms that sound similar, but they're not the same thing.
Hey, dude, I'm from Detroit. I all the time speak with an accent.
Someone else quoting 8 Mile earlier. You know exactly what I was talking about. Anyway, that's funny. That show was on the other day, and I was that part where what's his name? Lickety Split. He's like, I'm Detroit. You the D. Are you the new kid on the block about to get smacked back to the Boondocks? I'm like, I don't know. I always quote those. I'll be walking around. I'll be making a sandwich or something that was playing in the background. I'm like quoting some things from it. But anyway, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. All right. John Francis. Hey. XLM creeping up today. Number 25 now. And hey, Max and Black. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, John Francis. Welcome back. We'll read a few more comments. We'll kick it back into the outline. This comes from Quant Papa. I'll let you go ahead to read it.
Ruell Black, you have any inside info about how they're going to pay that 7% LCX bonds? Most staking rewards mint the new tokens. I hope LCX don't. I do not know how they're going to pay that. LCX, I think they have a limit on their tokens, which is like 950K, so just under 1 billion. And a certain percentage of that gets locked up for different things like the Tielmans. The Tielmans tokenomics say that certain percentages of that get locked up as reserves. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to pay that 7% at all.
That's right. And I do the same thing. If I don't know, I don't try to BS people. I'm like, I don't know. So I always laugh, not necessarily at the person, but I laugh when, like, every now and then there'll be some guy who'd be like, check out Bajujuju. What? Yeah, check it out, man. It's on this blockchain. It's on XYZ. Huh? Check it out, man. Bajujuju is amazing. They got, like, this new partnership with Baduku. What? Yeah, you don't know about all 22,000 cryptocurrency projects out there? No, I do not. Never claimed to be. Oh, your crypto talk now. Shame on you. You don't know about 22,000 projects. What the heck is wrong with you? Why don't you just go back to where you came from? I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from? I mean, I'm not going to know about 22,000 crypto projects, but I'll try to look at the ones that stand out anyway.
Right. And I like at least, you definitely don't try to lie about it. Cause I've seen so many people, I'm a contributor for Benzinga. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they do stock news. And I've seen people come onto the show. Like, it's usually younger people, not the older guys. It's usually younger people. They'll come on the show and they'll just debate, deliberately lie about. Let me not say deliberately. I know that they're answering and their lot and what they're saying is not true. And I was like, okay, why can't you just say, no, I don't know about that?
Here's the thing. When I see people like that, and I totally know what you're talking about. I say to myself, there's that expression called "you were born in the wrong era." Like, who hasn't heard about that, right? When I see people like what you're talking about do that, I say to myself, you were born in the wrong era. And the era you should have been born in is maybe you should have been born like in the 1940s and 1950s. For that way, when you're in your 20s or 30s, you could have been a stereotypical 1970s used car salesman, because then you're going to BS us with, selling us a Ford Pinto or a freaking Gremlin or a AMC Pacer. Remember that thing? Upside down bathtub looking darn thing. No, thank you. Anyway, people can sense BS a mile away. Anyway. All right, let's go further down. Just a couple more. Let's see. Dan the Man, welcome. Love the Georgetown Hoyas avatar. Reminds me of my middle school team, the Ben's Me Bulldogs, we no longer exist, got renamed. But anyway, have you seen all the articles about banks moving to a new system? March 30th to April 1st going around. Yes, shout out to Mike Cornwell, who originally was talking about that at the beginning of the show. We definitely have. Thank you for being here, Dan the man. Let's go ahead and highlight that. Let's get back into our particular outline. So, earlier we had shared this whole thing with, in regards to the Polygon partnership with you guys. We talked a little bit about the whole thing with Quant partnerships. We touched a little bit on the whole thing with Polkadot. Do you want to elaborate more in regards to this whole thing with LCX enabling security tokens on Polkadot? We can get into that if you want.
Okay, let me see.
I got it right here, actually. Because we were just talking about Polkadot.
That's right. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Just like it really seems like LCX is going to get something, and it's going to be on Polkadot. So that might be something to really pay attention to. Polkadot seems poised to be the blockchain for like enterprise and all those people that are kind of connected to the WEF. You can see that too, that Energy Web Token is also built on Polkadot. And even though it has DeFi, like all of it, it's meant for their energy assets that are actually going to be traded between countries. So
see, I just learned something new. I didn't know that. I know about Energy Web Token. Did not know it was built upon Polkadot. So that's useful to know. Is there anything more on this particular article that you want to get into, like maybe Fire Salamander, or you want to just jump to the next one?
We can go to the next one.
Okay. Let me see what else we got. So this is a little bit more of what I have actually. So do you have any more on your end that you want me to jump into before I get into the ones I had?
Well, if you can go back, that same parody thing, you might.
Yeah, that's fine. What do you want to do? You're the special guest here, man. So it's all
okay.
Good.
So I just wanted to show that if you guys see on the left hand side of that page, LCX's partners. Of course, Polygon's not listed here for whatever reason because they're a brand new partner. But you can see here Chainlink, Animoca Brands, Cello, Hedera, Constellation Network, Icon Foundation, which is really big over in South Korea, Parity, which is Polkadot, we just saw. So these are huge partners, especially Hedera and Constellation and Polkadot. Very, very big partners. So I just wanted to point those guys out.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. I think Cool Cat Crypto mentioned a few days ago or maybe last week that not enough, content creators talk about Chillo, and I agree with them on that one. But yeah, I didn't even realize that Chillo Foundation was, they got this thing going on with LCX, so that's cool. Constellation DAG, I mean, I'm considering picking up a bag of that. Haven't done the biggest deep dive into them, but on the surface, I'm really impressed with what they got. But anyway, is there anything else from this particular page you want to get into, or you want to just jump into some of the other material that you still have or I have?
Before we jump into some material on that, just to let you guys know, I do have some Constellation videos on my channel, and I have an entire playlist just about LCX partners. I'm pretty high on Constellation. I like those guys. But yeah, we can jump into your articles now. You're muted, Max.
Sorry about that. Good thing you're here, right? Anyway, what happens if I'm muted? I got this wonderful guy. His name's Mike Cornwell, and who just called my phone. And then once it lights up with his number, then I just realize, okay, I'm muted, and then he just hangs up. And it's kind of like my red phone from back in the day. Right?
The bat phone.
The bat phone. Yeah, it's basically the bat phone. So it's like when I see that, I'm like, oh no, it's Commissioner Gordon, aka Mike Cornwell. So yeah. All right. So anyway, guys, this is what he's referring to. I typed in DAG, and it does look like you did cover it quite a bit. Like you did one 5 months ago, no one 8 months ago. It says What is Constellation? Yeah, this other one, DAG, just as good as LCX. Wow, we're doing the segment about it, LCX. So that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, they have their own like ecosystem, and they have some pretty intriguing things on their ecosystem. They're a DAG, so that's faster than blockchain. So there's that.
You know what?
Also,
Maybe you
there's
don't mind
supposed
if we
to
play
be-
this real quick? Sorry about that.
Oh,
You
I don't
if we
mind.
play
Go
this?
ahead.
Because for one, I'm in this local area of Arizona State University, right? Like I literally live. Some people say, "Don't do it, Max. Don't do it. You're going to expose where you are, and some crazy person is going to fully dox you, and it's not going to be good." Okay. All I'm saying is, I live literally a straight shot down the road from ASU West, not ASU Main. So anyway, I saw it
Yeah,
says ASU.
I'm
right here.
kind of in the area too as well. I'm in Scottsdale.
Oh, no way, man.
Yeah.
You know what? So let's take a moment to recognize that. So, Phoenix is literally like, as you know, most people who live here aren't really from here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm from Portland, Oregon. I was born and raised there. I'm a Blazers fan. My second favorite team is the Suns because my mom's a huge Suns fan. But my thing is, like, you hardly meet anybody who's actually from here. I mean, like, I have, one of my best friends, he's actually from here. My girlfriend is from here, but that's like the exception. Everybody else is not from here. Like they're from all over the place, New York, Detroit, like yourself, so on and so forth. So, well, that's cool, man. I mean, if anything, shoot, man. I mean, there's about Greg Lunt, right? I'm sure you know about him. Greg
Who?
Lunt. Greg Lunt.
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently, Greg Lunt, he also lives in the Phoenix Valley, which is pretty cool. How about this? Coach JV from the 3-2 Warriors Academy. He lives, I believe, in Scottsdale, Arizona. So it's like we got some big, a lot of big researchers.
Like a crypto talk meetup.
Yeah, man, it'd be cool. So
yeah,
that's cool stuff, man. I didn't know that. That's very cool. Small world, anyway. But anyway, yeah, let's play a little bit of this real quick. I think it's this one real quick. We'll play this. And
hey guys,
we'll fast forward. I mean, even though I do love the greeting of "Hey guys," but let's go ahead and fast forward to this. And I wonder how much longer it's going to take to play it. Hold on.
So this is
all right. We'll listen to your intro real quick. This is interesting stuff, in my opinion. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. And this is back 8 months ago, but it says DAG just as good as LCX. Why is that? And it says founder fireside at Arizona State University. Let's play it for a little bit.
Fireside chat that they did at Arizona State University. But before we even get into that, DAG has some sweet partners I found out here. If we go to my profile and come on over here to Twitter and add your boy Black Roo. It's at Black Roo on Twitter. Okay. So let's look at my profile here. Some tweets and replies. I was really, really awesomely shocked to see that these guys, and that's my co-host Luke at Benzinga. Luke been working out, I can see. So they have a deal in place with Foursquare. If you don't know who Foursquare is, they're basically
Sorry?
Maybe the video is a little farther away. And
okay.
To point this out, guys, if it sounds like I'm slurring my words, I had a stroke like 8 months ago. So like I could not speak properly for a while. So just if it sounds like I'm slurring my words, it's because I had a stroke. Just so y'all know.
It's all good, man.
I'm not on the sauce. I'm not drinking. It was a stroke and I couldn't speak properly for a little bit. So just so y'all know.
It's all good. Thanks for the clarification. I'm glad you're okay, man. So
you
seem like you're okay. Yeah, you seem like you're okay. So I would never know, and I'll put it that way. So anyway, let's go ahead and fast forward to this. All right. We think shortly after this? Yeah, it is. All right. So let's go ahead and play this. Here we go.
Guys know what they're doing. All right. And they tell you kind of how they were involved in crypto early, stuff like that. But right here, we're going to go into one company that they launched from their launch pad, because they got a launch pad too, just like LCX does. LCX launches, they launched a couple different projects. We can go into that probably on another day. But here's Lattice token. This is LCX's, or I'm sorry, this is DAG's, this is Constellation's exchange.
You know
So
what?
if we come,
I forgot, I don't know if it was you, it was somebody else requested us to do an intro for Lattice, and we did that. So it's actually in our video section. But anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. I'm gonna play the rest of this.
okay, no problem. Let me here, I'll tell you. LCX powers the cross-chain liquid Lattice exchange program, which is run by Constellation. I thought they had that in here, but that's okay. What I really like about this is the max supply is 1 million. So once this exchange gets off its gets kind of just up and running,
Wait, what?
these tokens are going to be very valuable.
What?
I mean, 100,000. I said their own.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say what?
I said their own.
Paul,
You're like, wait,
what? I'm like, what?
Okay.
I'm like, I'm like, let's pause the show. Okay, let's go in here. I'm gonna buy up the whole entire supply. I'm gonna mortgage my house. Okay, I'm gonna be the biggest whale of all the whales. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh man.
You know, and Lattice token, like, you know, a million views all of a sudden. You're like, what the hell, man? This guy said there's only oh god.
My bad. I can't remember on that. 100,000.
Yeah.
100 million. Y'all.
Can you imagine how many people? Because we get reports, right, that people listen to the show, or they're driving down the road, or they're just listening to the show as they're like cooking dinner or making a snack. How many people just drop the bread on the floor? What? Right. I need to go get all of it right now.
They pulled over on the side of the road.
Oh, jeez. It reminds me of that old song. Was it from maybe it's from Chronic 2001 or whatever. You know, Eminem, he's like, you know, somebody stop the tape. Dr. Dre, I got something to say, or whatever he goes. You know what I mean? It's like, stop the presses. What? All right. Oh, yeah, I was just like, huh? Like, I had to take a second look at that. Anyway, we'll play the rest of this. All right, here we go.
There's only a 1 million supply. That's really huge. So you can buy these guys on KuCoin. I'm already building my own little bag here with it. You can also buy it on MXC. I'm building my little bag of this for sure. Okay. So let's get into also Alchemy, which is Alchemy Exchange is built on the Constellation network using the hypergraph. So they're going to get into exactly what Alchemy is, and I'm going to play that for you. I'm going to play it at 1.5 times speed because it's just faster that way. But they do a really good spin on marketing. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of Veracity. How Veracity kind of has that proof of view technology. That proof of view technology does a spin on marketing by kind of getting rid of bots. Alchemy does this in its own way. So let's come in here and listen to what they have to say about that. Let me enlarge it. And let's listen. And I also have the captions up for you guys.
Okay, so, and I'm a little rusty here because I'm already in my mind with the next project that we're incubating right now. So apologies for that. But just in the broad strokes. So why would somebody do that? Basically, the message of Alchemy, advertisement is broken. And right now, advertisement is being gobbled up by big pools, namely Google and Facebook. And they're basically, you know, reinforcing, so to speak, a narrative around, you know, basically more ads and you're being targeted, blah, blah, blah. There's cookies that track you, blah, blah, blah. And basically, there's a lot of ad spend that advertisers or publishers have. There's about, they estimate that about, I think it's more than 70% of the ad spend actually just disappears in a black hole. So it's hugely inefficient, and there's a lot of fraud going on because their systems are hugely intransparent. So the bidding process itself is not really clear because there's no.
So he's being really politically correct with what he's saying. And he kind of got into the deep of it with the cookies and the tracking. But he says 70% of it disappears in a black hole. And what he's saying with that 70% of it disappears in a black hole, he's talking about bots. He's saying 70% of it. So this is crazy, guys. Think about this. So Google, I think he said Facebook. What else? Probably Twitter. 70% of these boys are bots. And this is why people wonder why, Elon hasn't bought Twitter yet. If you kind of like dig into the numbers and find out that 70% of the traffic is bots, how do you go and you tell a person, okay, buy an ad on my thing, you know what I mean? It's worth this much.
Oh wow, man!
How can you say it's worth?
You got quite the outline there. It goes further and further into, which is good. But yeah, I mean, it is true. Elon Musk did basically, buy out Twitter and so on. But I think the whole bot situation obviously still exists. But at least they're trying to take a stab at it anyway. I don't know what specific area where you're highlighting like DAG and whatnot. It's okay, but I don't expect you to be all like, all right, well, this is exactly 1403 on this particular video. He gets into DAG, and I'm supposed to have you remember that from, was it 8 months ago or something? So it's okay.
But that's cool. We got a little bit of Alchemy, and Alchemy is a cool project on there. And what was the other one we went over? Lattice. Lattice is the exchange that they use to actually kind of, I guess, sell these tokens. They're like decentralized exchange. So it's a lot of cool projects. They also have one called Ginico, which is like a 23andMe, but like you actually can say, okay, you give permission on whether you want to sell your data or not. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to read a few more comments, and then we're going to kick it back into our particular outline. We have just probably like a little bit more left. I think I have some things I wanted to share with you guys. It's more of the modern news, up-to-date news when it comes to LCX. But the point is, in regards to all this, is it's LCX, and why does it stand out, and why it's significant, and why you should pay more attention to it. I mean, for me personally, I finally got into LCX. I think almost a week ago, something like that. You know what I mean? Not even a full week ago, right? But here I am talking about it all the time, doing videos and updates, and I'm just like, I would have gotten to it a lot earlier, but I did have some problems with KYC. Some people were like, "How do you have problems with KYC?" They want me to keep re-uploading my documents, and anyway, I'm good, and I finally have some. But my key thing is, I recognize that when it comes to LCX, it's like like we were talking about earlier. Bitcoin at like $100, Quant is like your second chance, in my opinion, at Bitcoin, like when it was 100. What about LCX? A lot of people wish that they would have gotten to Binance when it was rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, LCX currently speaking, and I'll pull it up right now. We are sitting at some of these particular prices that have gone down, right? Some people complain about that. I don't. I'm glad that it did pull down, because when I saw this thing go up to, I think it was like 12 or 13 cents, I was like, you know what? I need to wait a little bit longer, because I think there'll be a pullback, and I'm glad I did. So my compromise was, I would have wished I came in at, 3 cents like a lot of our community did. But I came in roughly under 8 cents. It was like maybe, 0.78 or something like that. And I put $1,200 into LCX, and I'm glad I did so. And so my thing is, I realized, just like the next guy, where this thing is going. You know what I mean? The tokenization of some standout things that you've seen, right? Whether it's bonds, whether it's, you know, the Diamonds project and so on, right? The tokenization of diamonds. But the key thing is, to me personally, this is the future of where, you know, you're tokenizing just that, anything and everything. But stand out projects. Another, you know, project we covered recently is Rio. You know, Relio, the tokenization of real estate, and that really blew off. I mean, shout out to Papa X Mex. He told me about it, 8 cents. Mike Cornwell, shout out to him, he got into it. That's like well over 30 cents. But the point is, yeah, Rio's not connected. Yeah, it's not part of LCX. But what's the key common factor here, everybody? The key common factor here is understanding that is the era that we're in of Web3 and going forward, the tokenization of real estate, the tokenization of, you know, diamonds, you name it, right? The blockchain technologies that are involved into this. And even looking at it from a supply, you know, standpoint, I mean, we did have Monty Metzger confirm some of the FUD that was listed here. You know, some people said, oh, they're trying to hide something. They're not listening to the max supply. He squashed that FUD. He himself addressed that. We cover that here. And then, of course, you can go to CoinGecko to verify that. But, you know, circulating right now, you have 771,584,751 LCX. Total supplies, 950. Was that 950 million? So it's not that bad. It's not like this is a token that has billions or trillions like a meme token. No, that is not the case. So, you know, and then on top of that, you know, some people say, well, there's not enough markets that this thing is on. Like, well, that's not true. There is a decent amount of, you know, exchanges that this is on. This is even on, you know, you want to go the decentralized route, which is what I had to do. I did do Uniswap through Coinbase Wallet. But the thing is, I mean, you know, even going through the Liechtenstein exchange, there is all sorts of different pairings. Like, for instance, you know, Diamonds, as you see right here. How about this for size? We cover this. I'm sure you probably look more into this yourself, Ruell, and that is basically Leo X. They just went live, publicly speaking, on the 27th, right? So I think they got a lot of stuff going on. And when it comes to the whole debate of regulatory compliance, embracing that, if you will, where their position in Liechtenstein, they got everything, in my opinion, going their way. And yes, they were the target of the SEC in the past. I think those days, in my opinion, unless something just dramatically changes, I don't know about. I don't think that's going to be so much of a big worry going forward.
Me, that seems like a big game. Like it seems really weird because the SEC. Well, we know BlackRock has its hands on the U.S. Treasury. BlackRock, also their CEO, like I said before, Larry Fink, is a member of the World Economic Forum. LCX is a member of the World Economic Forum. You would think that the SEC has some type of relation to the U.S. Treasury. So why would they ever come after LCX? That makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to show you guys this first article. I think we originally had it. I don't know if you read this, but if you're just dropping in, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to kind of reiterate this, I guess you could say. And then it's this particular tab here, and it says verifiable credentials. Listen to this real quick if you're just tuning in. So another difference is the novel approach to permission DeFi done using digital identity building blocks such as W3C verifiable credentials. Listen to what it says here. We want to use verifiable credentials as a way of identifying and proving identity, which is different from the current Aave model. For instance, Loban said, verifiable credentials are interesting because they can introduce the scale that you need to provide access to these pools without necessarily having to maintain a whitelist of addresses. Since verifiable credentials are not held on chain, you don't have the same overhead involved with writing this kind of information to blockchain, paying for gas fees, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I don't know. I just want to point some of that out. We didn't mention that earlier. Of course, there's just more about this in regards to JP Morgan, but I'm gonna get into the comments here in a brief bit, but I want to also draw your attention to some of the other news I have. This came out 12 hours ago, and we'll get into this in here in a bit. But it's in regards to Monty Metzger's statement of trillions of dollars of assets that could be tokenized by the end of the decade, according to Citi researchers. You know, let's face it, Citibank at one point used to be the number one biggest bank in the world at one point. I remember it was when I was a loan officer. We used to tell people that I was a loan officer from 2005 to 2007. And with that said, I mean, during that period of time, Citigroup was, it was huge, right? I don't know who currently is, but the point is, like it says, LCX already started the block. And as you can see right here, Citi sees 4 trillion market potential for tokenized assets. You know, at the end of the day, what are we all doing? Why are we here? Why are we watching? Why are you tuning into CTN? Why do we have this community that we have? Because we do take the deep dives. We do connect the dots. We try to pay attention to some of these particular things for our future. And, you know, when we talk about generational wealth, like, are you kidding me? You know, if you can't recognize that, you know, even Citi, who recognizes that this is a 4 trillion market potential, and that's just, let's face it, this is just one project. Yeah, we're covering like the whole thing with LCX, but when you combine this with having a diversified portfolio, whether it's LCX, whether it's Ripple's XRP, whether it's XLM, Quant, and a few of these other ones, this is why I feel as though don't be all in on just like LCX. Don't be all in on, you know, like some of the bad news that we got with Cypherium, right? I had to look more into that. But the key thing is, in my opinion, diversification for your portfolio. Why? Because you don't want to get wrecked. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. And if anything, you are planning for the future, because I don't think all of these, and when we talk about this a lot when it comes to ISOs, but when it comes to utility, I don't think necessarily it's like all these from utility driven tokens and coins just all blast off on the same day. No, you're going to see ones that you have a standout month or a standout quarter or a standout year. Again, guys, diversification. Let's kick it back into the comments just for a brief bit.
And one thing on that, that is,
yeah, go ahead.
We just saw how JP Morgan Chase was into tokenization, right? And Citi, JP Morgan Chase's current head, Jamie Dimon, he used to be a head guy at Citibank. So there's a connection there.
Well, yeah, there definitely is a connection there. I think I saw a DM come in here. All right, so I'll tell you what, IMDPP, what I'm doing is I'm going to read a few more comments, and then we'll definitely pull up some of your, he has some more extended research, and we appreciate it. I mean, we do, you know, get into some of the material that some of you guys share from the community. We call them, you know, our community members, like, you know, CTN sideline reporting, right? But IMDPP has Constellation DAG network article in regards to them choosing LCX as a partner. I'll go ahead and pull that up as part of my outline for you guys. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's kick it back into the comments for just a brief bit. But if anything, in a little bit, we will have to wrap things up, because I don't want to go super long tonight, because last night I went like 5 hours and 15 minutes. I just really don't want to do that. Also want to respect Ruell's, you know, time here as well. So we do have a little bit more in regards to like the modern news with LCX and so on. But so far, it's been a great show. Really appreciate you guys who are here. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. But let's check out a few more comments. Quant Papa says, future millionaires in this chat. Thank you very much, Quant Papa. Founder Floki, connections to Elon Musk. Yeah, you're so confused when I think a lot of people were, because they're like, why are they listing a meme token? You got to keep in mind. Yeah, but that sucker was really moving. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they are an exchange, right? They, you know, call it an opportunist moment, whatever the case be. They wanted to recognize that volume. There was a tremendous amount of volume.
It's the DeFi aspect, I think.
Yeah.
I really think it's the DeFi aspect. I think Floki has some stuff coming up for DeFi, and then they also have that metaverse Valhalla. So that's Floki. Floki might be a pick, man.
Yeah, you know, I got on so many damn meme tokens and coins. back in 2021, and for whatever reason, I passed up on Floki. And then when it finally blasted off, I was like, go figure. But at the same time, while I'm kind of beat myself up over that, if it wasn't for Shiba Inu, I wouldn't even be here. You know, my story is 8K became 88K, and then I also got back into it again, bought another billion tokens. So I was cool with it. But from there, my approach was I got to learn more about some of these other projects, utility, and so on, because I saw where, you know, where's the Saitamas or you name it, right? Uncle Thursday, welcome. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. Grade the God. Any price predictions on LCX? So we have talked about this before, right? So my thing was this, and this was during the current breakdown of, I think I ran around the time of FTX collapsing based on the current market conditions. So when we talked about this before, I felt as though, and other people do this as well, that LCX, in my opinion, you know, if it was 25% the market cap of, you know, Binance, I think that put it around $26 to $28 per LCX. Some people think like, man, that's too low, Max. Like it's way higher than that. I would agree. But, you know, from a conservative standpoint, some people might not agree with it. Some people might say that's not the case. Where the case be, I'm sticking to my guns on that. I think that's being more than conservative. But if we look at the bigger picture with some of our outline that we mentioned earlier, right? Some of these partnerships, where they're going with Web3, how they're expanding on tokenization. And then how about this, guys? We always talk about regulatory clarity before we can get institutional money to come in. If you have the World Economic Forum, and don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly a fan of them, but I understand, just like Richard Common Sense Crypto mentioned, a lot of this stuff is coming here, whether we like it or not. Carbon credits, all that stuff. Yep. So if you recognize what's going on for the future, my thing is this: I'm not going to stand on the sidelines and, you know, just like, you know, we talk about the train coming by. How about this? I'm not going to be on sidelines and this great big giant bus comes by and I'm out in the cold and I just get, you know, it comes blasting by and I get all wet and I look like a wet duck who has got his thumb up his butt because he didn't look more into some of these technologies. No. Yeah. My thing is, I'm definitely going to buy some of this up, and I did. But as far as price predictions, I think that's being more than conservative. If you truly believe that LCX is at some point is more important than Binance, which a lot of us do, then you can draw your own conclusion. And let's just leave it at this, just like at the beginning of the particular outline that we had. And that is, look at Binance. What's the only utility technically has? Maybe there's more to it, and by all means, let me know. But last I checked, the only real utility the token has, or coin, right, is a discount on their exchange. If you compare it to LCX, LCX has way more layers of utility compared to, for instance, Binance. So I just want to throw that out there. Uncle Thursday says, man, I sold my Ethereum and bought Quant at 50. Never looked back. Cool stuff. Where is the Cypherium news located? So, for instance, if you want to check out that video, you can go to the space Crypto Smith on YouTube, and he dropped that info in a recorded video recently. Excuse me about the sneeze. I guess it went away. Crypto Smith says, I still don't think Cypherium is a scam, just a bit unprofessional, overhyped community. Okay. See, there you go. So that, I don't know. Again, I'm going to review it. I'm going to see what's going on with that. He who is called Tim. Wagme, MMAI, and Gala will rocket or Gala. Mardaeus, I know someone with the 4 Bitcoin. I converted it all to ISO. Yep. Same here, my friend. Yeah. I would definitely convert that. All right. Let me see here. I'm just going to read a few more comments. Let me see. Super says, no churches, no houses, no land, no banks. They'll give everyone a face scan of 1,000 worth a month for free, so you won't be able to manipulate. So if you have to be tested, hold on. So if so, you'll have to be test dummies for nuclear energy. Okay, so son. Let I think we're way behind in the comments. Let's see if there's any specific thing. I want to welcome Jesse Thomas. Thank you for being here. And we're getting to the last bit of this outline. So let me just go ahead and read this real quick, and then I'm going to get into it. So McDissel says, it's for real. Quadrillions are supposed to go into blockchain with Nostro Vostro like this week, and I'm pretty sure guys listen. All right. Thank you for that, man.
Speaking of that, whoever brought up XLM's moving right now, and it's not XRP is not moving. Usually they move in tandem. So it's kind of weird that XLM is just moving on its own right now.
I hear where you're coming from, but I want you to hear me on this, okay? This is just, I guess you could say where we can agree to disagree, or maybe be like, you know what, Max, that's a good point. So I'm trying to one-up anybody, I respect you and so on. So my thing is this. If we are told when it comes to the differences of XRP and XLM is XRP is the bank-to-bank and XLM is the retail side of it, right? Mm-hmm. To me, it would make sense that the two wouldn't move together. Now, before in the past, they would. But think about it. Why would they move together? Technically speaking, it was based on market conditions. But the common factor, right, was that none of them were part of this thing of ISO 222. They're compliant, but the thing didn't go live. Now that the thing's gone live, and we point this out, like, just because the thing goes live doesn't mean that everything, like buy the rumor, sell the news, like doesn't mean everything is going to explode on that one day. I did mention to people that I felt as though it's going to take maybe at least a couple days, but we should see some volume. We did see some volume. So what that also said, if you had the financial sectors of the world, right, implementing that or using that technology, I mean, why wouldn't they, right? So you're a central bank. You're like, you know what? We went live with this whole thing. It was a big deal. We're going to use this, right? This is supposed to save us money and all this stuff, right? I mean, perfect example is we had a screenshot. I don't have it available right now. Brad Garlinghouse sent out, I think, a tweet, and it mentions that Ripple moved, was it like 700? I believe it was $700 million. And only took 3 seconds, and the fee was like a penny or under a penny, right? And I use this example all the time because we have seen this. So in the past, a few years ago, you have examples of central banks moving $10 trillion, and they get hit with the old system of SWIFT of $60 billion. So again, whoever wants to do the math on this, if you can move $700 million in 3 seconds and the fee's a penny, do the math on $10 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, and the banks get hit with a $60 billion fee. So my key thing is this. In the past, yes, both of them moved, but I think here's the key thing. We talk about utility. So if utility is being utilized, right, with the new system, if you will, right, this incentivizes to use the new ISO 222 messaging and so on for cross-border payments, using some of these technologies. If the financial sector is using that technology, then that means the financial sector is doing the bank-to-bank stuff. Bank-to-bank volume is totally different from retail volume. Get what I'm saying? So to me, that means if both, Stellar or both Ripple, different companies, one's focused on bank-to-bank, one's focused on peer-to-peer, the volumes would be represented differently now compared to then when they didn't have ISO 222 going live. Am I too far off? Get what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I agree with you totally. I think it just goes into by it just moving by itself, goes into more of what that person mentioned, the thing that you shared with us, where there might be something popping off in the next couple of days.
And I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. Here's another thing. People haven't done more of their own research. There's plenty of them. Nothing against them. But on the surface, just like what Fudders do, they'll take what's on the surface and they'll say, "Oh, this went live. This is, not much is happening."
Right.
Okay. You got to realize that there's a period of implementation and full implementation, and on top of that, it's just like anything. I use this example a lot. Picture, with Ripple's on-demand liquidity. Picture Olympic-sized swimming pools. We are now starting to see these great big giant Olympic-sized faucets where somebody is literally pulled it back, and the on-demand liquidity is gushing out, right? Are these Olympic-sized swimming pools, are they completely filled up yet? No. If anything, you might have, I don't know, we're in the shallow end, and basically now you're up to your the halfway part of your limbs, right? You know what I'm saying? And before ISO 222 went live, what did we see? The prices represent a trickle, a drop of what? 32 cents. Now we're at 52 cents. Why is that? Because there's simply more of that what? Liquid, of that on-demand liquidity, right? The liquid assets, what do you want to call it? I'm kind of ahead of myself, but I think that's a good representation, because it's like, what does make sense. Once those are completely full, then that's full implementation. What kind of price will we see then? That's what excites me. That's what should excite everybody.
Yeah,
anyway.
Agreed, man.
All right. Yeah, that's part of my teacher side of me coming out. So I do teach. But anyway, let's check out. Yeah, let's check out a few more comments. Do you have a little bit more time, or you got to get going like right now? I don't want to respect your time.
I'm good.
All right. I want to read another super chat that came in, and man, we are way behind on that one. I'm so sorry, Mr. IMDPP. He says, DAG Constellation has Air Force contract, and Digibyte is a LCX partnership who has numerous government contracts. Look up Digibyte price. He's heavily into DAG and extremely heavy in Digibyte. So a while back, when Larry was a lot more active with us in regards to like a schedule and so on, he covered Digibyte. I think he did an intro, and that community kind of like briefly like embraced us, which was cool. But at the time, I said to myself, I want to cover Digibyte more, but it didn't seem like they had enough updates. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to really like appease this community, if you will, if there's not enough, I guess you could say, updates. But I always felt as though there was something there. So, you're educating me a little bit now, IMDPP, about Digibyte. I used to follow, and I still do. Shout out to Mike, the investor. He used to cover, I think he still does, Digibyte quite a bit. And if you are looking at the price, I mean, we did see it kind of go up within recent months. Very passionate community. I understand this is just me, my research on the surface. So I know it's a fork of Bitcoin, original Bitcoin, BTC. And then other than that, I don't know a lot about it other than what I saw on the surface. Could you tell us a little bit more in regards to this? And thank you so much again for the super chat, IMDPP. After we hear from Ruell, we will go ahead and get more into, I think you have some more that you DM me. Yeah, we do got that. So your thoughts on what you just mentioned?
No, I think that's solid. Yeah, it's very solid. DAG is supposed to have like a D&D validator, and they're really supposed to be really big into D&D. So, yeah, that's another reason why I'm high on those guys.
Cool stuff. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna go further down. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna read one more comment. Let's see here. Quant Papa says money baited SEC lawsuit on purpose with Davos 2022. The put up billboard end of Goldman, and Gary Gensler is brother with Goldman Sachs. Good point. The bait is on purpose because he knows he follows the rules. All right. Let me go ahead and highlight that. Let's jump into this thing that IMDPP shared. So here it is. Constellation Network chooses LCX as partner. This is originally from March 28th of 2021. Yep. San Francisco Constellation Network, San Francisco-based software, big data, and blockchain company agreed on a long-term strategic partnership, of course, with LCX. If you're wondering about the partnership itself, it says it's a step towards further expanding the blockchain ecosystem by collaborating with other decentralized service providers to develop more securable, scalable blockchain solutions to cater to the needs of their users. While there may be many blockchain protocol ecosystems that are creating their own token standard apart from the ERC20 standard of ETH, the approach that Constellation is taking with layer 0 tokens and by collaborating with LCX will provide more transparency, accountability, and assurance to token creators and holders, all while being regulatory compliant. Now, in regards to this partnership, it says LCX will be supporting the listing of tokens created using Constellation's network layer 0 token standard. LCX and Constellations will collaborate to use Constellation's hypergraph transfer protocol, which I need to do more of my own research to understand that a little bit more. Are you familiar with that, the hypergraph, by any chance?
No, only that they do like, and it's kind of in that a little bit. They have their own layer 0 along, but that is supposed to be like a layer 0 network. But other than that, that's it.
Okay. Speaking of that layer 0, it said LCX will provide legal assistance and legal framework package for additional layer 0 tokens and businesses which are currently being prepared and worked on in stealth mode. That sounds interesting. Anyway, let's go a little bit further down. Let's see here. Crypto is all about scale. Constellation has built infrastructure to scale fast and build a profitable network for all stakeholders involved. Now LCX users will become stakeholders of the Constellation network as well as enjoy its benefits, says Monty Metzger. In regards to the layer 0, in order for their layer 0 token standard to compete against the other token standards in the crypto industry, they need to have regulatory compliant and trustworthy centralized exchanges like LCX. Partnering with LCX paves a path for success for anyone building on Constellation's ecosystem. And of course, there's more about this whole thing, but that's pretty cool. And then they have this whole thing about Lattice that you were talking about earlier, which is incubated by Constellation Network. Constellation is a decentralized network and a layer 0 solution. Lattice Exchange uses Constellation's layer 0 solution to provide streaming. Yeah, it's steaming hot, man. It's coming out there. Streaming consensus that is scalable, 0 transaction fees, and secure. Lattice is a non-ETH decentralized finance DeFi platform and connects all blockchain ecosystems by allowing users to transfer crypto between multiple blockchain ecosystems. Last but not least, Lattice is the crossroad for all blockchain ecosystems and cross-chain swapping platform with DeFi rewards programs. So my thing is this, that stands out because then you have an idea that, if somebody said, what is Lattice's utility? Well, look at this. There's your answer. And on top of that, you do get, I guess, some kind of reward in regards to that. Do you have a little bit more explanation in regards to how that reward breakdown is?
Well, my thought is that they want to use Lattice as kind of like a cross, like they say they're like kind of cross chain swapping between all the different guys that are building on Constellation. And we got into a couple of them. Alchemy, what was the other one? Ginny Co. So all those would be able to use Lattice as kind of like, just like people use BNB on the BNB network, they'd be able to use Lattice as a cross-chain coin. One of the things too that really stuck out for me on this is that LCX was going to help them with legal, and it would be very important for a company like Constellation to be highly regulated if they're planning on working with people like the DOD, like the Air Force and stuff like that. So it's really, really important that they have that type of regulation and backing behind them. So it really makes sense that they would go find LCX and be partners with them.
Yeah. On top of all the other things LCX really has for them. You know what I mean? So, I mean, my thing is, like, if I'm looking at two things, which I think we're basically doing, if you're looking at, LCX long term and you're looking at Binance long term and you understand the innovative technologies, the evolution of Web3, just on the surface, I have to go with LCX. That's just me.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna get into a few more comments, and let's see here. Let's see where we're at. This is the time, according to McDizzle. This is the now. The switch is about to flip. Look at how they all shut the banks down this weekend for what, for a while. Transfers to digital ISO 222, Nostra holds 90% of all money. Good point. All right, let's see here. I am the crazy guy in the corner saying, "Wake up before the blast off." This is the great reset. Yeah, good points. Burke says, my first crypto was Digibyte. Interesting. I kind of want to whale on it, see what happens. Crypto Smith, I got to be honest, haven't done much research on DAG.
Oh, yeah, I got to look at those guys.
Yeah, I haven't as well. But you know what? I'm aware of them. And, I think a lot of, we shouldn't ape in anything, right? That's just my opinion. Because the definition of aping into something is where you haven't done your own research. So as a content creator, notice I say content creator, I don't say influencer. Please don't sue me. Anyway, here's the thing, right? You, by definition, if you ape into a crypto project, you didn't do your own research. Basically, that's all it is. You go all out, you ape into it. But on the surface, the thing that really stands out for DAG consistently is that Air Force connection, right? Yep. And so my thing is this: why would the United States Air Force pick something like obviously Constellation, right, with DAG, if there wasn't something solid there? You know what I mean? So it's like that in itself will cause people to research it more. Now, I also understand the other side of the thing, and I've seen that people make complaints where I just think this is a common factor with anything. Like you could also apply this, technically speaking, to XDC, and we saw that blast off recently. And that is, well, it doesn't really move with the market. There's not a lot of stuff there. But if you look at the chart, and I have seen this at least, right, that they have had a lot of sideways consolidation. So, for people to complain about consolidation, I've always said, and this even dates back to Shiba Inu, totally different thing. Not, don't have the utility, obviously. But there is something to be said about sideways consolidation because it strengthens the asset. Like we used the example earlier about Olympic-sized swimming pools with ripples on demand and liquidity. Yeah, I don't care what it is. If you take a pot or a cauldron or whatever the heck it is, and you put a lid on it, or before you put a lid on, you keep filling it with stuff. Doesn't even have to be liquid, just stuff, right? It could be candy or whatever the heck it is, right? And you keep putting there and putting in there, putting there. You keep trying to mash it down and mash it down and mash it out. The lid blows off. And that's the way I look at it when it comes to a lot of these things. At the end of the day, it is, whether it's stocks, crypto, and so on, it's all about supply and demand. What kind of supply and what kind of demand does it have? Because once you do get tremendous amount of supply and demand, that's where things go. And I know some people don't let me mention this, but it's true. That's where you get things going parabolic. And man, I've seen some things go parabolic. I was fortunate enough to, see the 2021 bull market. Some of you guys have been in this whole crypto game way longer than I have. For me, it's altcoins I think almost about 2.5 years. I don't really consider, buying Bitcoin in 2016. I think about like $400 worth or something like that. I don't really consider that like, oh man, I'm this wheeler dealer type of crypto guy. For me, it's altcoins. So for me, it's close to about 2.5 years experience. But anyway, I think, what was that? That was from, I think we shared that whole thing from
DPP.
Yeah, let me see there. So I think we did read a lot of this already. Yeah, we did, and that's cool stuff. We're gonna check a few more comments, and we're gonna get into the last bit of the news, and then we're gonna wrap it up after that. GG says, told about April Fools is going to become a new meaning as the majority of the people aren't going to be prepared for any of this transition to the new monetary system. Very good point. Cool Cat Crypto says most people are going to be in deep doo-doo when this happens. That's a good point too. Mr. J Crypto, welcome. Hey, I don't know if you hear FedNow has took. Yep, Crypto Smith basically addressed it in his video. We're gonna get into that. McDizzle, I've got the best bags in the regulatory ISO deep research and partners and utility coins. I'm ready. Yeah, I would totally agree. You're totally ready when it comes to that. All right. Before we wrap things up, I want to show you guys a little bit of what we have for to wrap up our particular outline. We showed you guys, for instance, the interview with Dr. Lehman Baird of Hedera and that partnership. Also with, what's his name? Monty Metzger. Cool stuff. Looks like you sent me a link about 20 minutes ago. I don't know what that is, Ruell.
That's another channel that I have that I just wanted to let the people know about. We can do that at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just try to remind me, or I'll remember. So anyway, yeah, let's get into this real quick. So this, I did show you guys just this briefly. And before we wrap this up, this is, recent news. So might as well share it. So here it is. And again, this is from Monty Metzger, CEO of LCX Liechtenstein Exchange. Look what is mentioned here. 12 hours ago, this was posted. So if you want more new news, right, instead of just, a bunch of research, which is good, here you go. Trillions of dollars of assets could be tokenized by the end of the decade, according to Citi researchers. LCX already started the block. And of course, we'll get into this article in a bit, but look what Monty mentions. Tokenizing financial and real-world assets could be the killer use case that blockchain needs to drive a breakthrough. With trillions of dollars worth of securities tokenized by the end of the decade. Quote, in particular, the tokenization of asset classes offers the prospect of driving efficiencies in capital markets, shortening value chains, and improving costs and access for investors. Now, just hear me out. Look at who he tags here.
Yeah.
He tags Larry Fink of BlackRock. Now, why would somebody like CEO Monty Metzger want to tag somebody like Larry Fink of freaking BlackRock? Well, maybe because he understands that BlackRock is the world's largest asset custodian. And on top of that, after we get regulatory clarity, you will have the likes of BlackRock all in. You'll have the likes of some of these other big players all in. And that's what excites us the most. We put so much emphasis on ISO 222 and so on, rightfully so. But the key thing is that institutional money coming in massive waves that we have never seen before. Some people say, criticize me on this, and I've gotten DMs. I don't mention people's names, and it's okay. I could take the heat. But my thing is, okay, so you don't see it the way I see it. That's okay. It's not cancel culture. But the key thing is this. I'm not a fortune teller, but I do connect the dots. And when I do connect the dots, it all points to one simple direction. Regulatory clarity. After that, institutional money comes in. To me, I pay attention to that because that leads to generational wealth. Why? Because once that institutional money comes in massive ways, this whole thing of you being so excited about Bitcoin and Ethereum and the overall crypto market cap at, what was it, 4+ trillion? Was it 11/11/2021 where everything was all-time highs? I'm telling you, this will smoke that like you have nothing, like you've never seen before. When you see Crypto McDizzle mention things like the darn utility run don't give a freaking flying two blankety blank about some of these charts based off of the current market conditions, it doesn't. Now, why is that? Number one, you've never seen a utility run before, ever.
Yep.
Number two, understand that while we were in a crypto winter, a lot of projects were building in the background. Perfect example, XDC. Perfect example, like what you see here, even at LCX, some of these other ones. But the key thing is the innovators, right, who built upon or expanded upon on these technologies when they're at rock bottom. People from the outside will complain about, again, like we mentioned earlier, sideways consolidation. But the key is the builders. In my humble opinion, and I want to take you guys to this real quick. I want to show you this, and I think I showed it yesterday, and that is the accumulation phase for crypto. And, you got to keep in mind, if you look more into this, and this, again, shout out to crypto.com for originally providing this. I want to show you this real quick.
And by the way, guys, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is a board member for the World Economic Forum. So these are two World Economic Forum guys right here.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the key things. But, I mean, look at this, guys. Here it is. The 4 phases of the crypto market. Like I said, I did 6 particular videos on the bull run thesis. I truly believe, like you see right here, that we are in this accumulation phase.
Yeah,
Proof be
100.
told. Yeah. What's the proof in the pudding? The proof in the pudding basically is look at market conditions, see what's going on, even from the retail point of view. What are a lot of people doing? They're accumulating as much as they can in regards to this. Then the next phase would be the markup. Why the heck, would you want to come in during the markup? You know what I mean? So some people, they complain, how about Jasmine? Jasmine gets so much FUD. It's stupid. But anyway, the reason why I get so much FUD, because on the surface, it appears as though it's a blatant rug pull. But as we've done more of our own research, we have found out that it doesn't seem like it is. They have all these key partnerships. But the point I'm trying to make real quick, whether it's LCX, whether it's Jasmine, whether it's all of this, I really feel as though you want to be part of this accumulation period. As the saying goes, back of the truck, load up on some of these things. Not financial advice. This is what I'm personally doing. And that is, when you look at, for instance, Jasmine, understand that this is near bottom. Again, that accumulation phase. Because once we get to the markup, then whether it's Jasmine or LCX or any of these, do you really want to pick up LCX when it's like maybe at least a couple bucks? How are you going to have that big bag that you wanted to get during accumulation phase? Sorry, sayonara, it's gone. Now you're in the markup. And as you can see after that, you have, wow, where it's like all-time highs. So I want people to understand this is where we get insane market caps that you've never seen before. And jumping back to what Monty Mensker was mentioning on this one that we have here again before we wrap it up. He tags Larry Fink of BlackRock. That in itself, I mean, if I didn't know about this, I would want to know more. But last but not least, LCX is the first company worldwide offering a tokenized bond approved and passported in Europe, EEA, for retail investors, offering a fixed yield of 7% on your, which is a tokenized bond, BTC, ETH, and even the native token of LCX. And of course, there's more of a breakdown. You can look more into it yourself. Last but not least, and I know that I said that earlier, I think there's going to be a few go-to platforms or exchanges when it comes to staking. Staking may not sound too popular right now, and I get that. But at some point, staking will be popular again. For me personally, look out for LCX. Also look out, for instance, for KuCoin. Why KuCoin? For the same reason why you bought some of these particular assets that you didn't have access to, because they are a lot more KYC friendly. But the key thing is recognizing what you can obtain or acquire on some of these particular exchanges. That is one of the main things. And I think moving forward, LCX really, really stands out. So with that said, do more of your own deep dive, look more into some of these things, know what you have, know what you hold. We're going to basically, I think, wrap things up here in a little bit, but we do have another super chat that came in, which is a good thing. And it comes from IMDPP. I hope it isn't too much. My apologies, guys. No, don't ever apologize. It's okay. This is what makes our community unique. We all share research together. That's the main thing. So, I mean, there's times.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So it's fine. He says, well, his apologies. It's all right. I actually worked 4 months and on and off. On and I'm 4 months off. So when I'm off, I constantly read and research all the time. And crypto had my attention since May of 2021. Man, you and I were very similar when it comes to that, because my thing was this. I went through a period of time in my life where it was just all about like video games and stuff like that. Right? It's still my dream to make my own game. But my key thing was, once I got bitten by the crypto bug, as I would call it, and people could, I guess you could say, come after me as a content creator saying like, why do you talk about Doge? Why do you talk about Shiba Inu? The reason I mention that is because for everything, whether it's this channel with Saitama, right, and things like that, we don't hide these things. Why? Because it's part of the crypto journey. So as you guys know, and if you haven't known, especially if you're new, if it wasn't for Doge, like I wouldn't have gotten more into some of these other altcoins like Shiba Inu. So Doge, 1 penny, $300 investment became, I think, 22K, roughly in the area, a little bit over that. So I want to find out about Shiba Inu. And I did. 8K became 88K. Third top performer for me of 2021. Crow, right? 17K into that. Saw 10K. I took my profits. I said to myself, I think a lot of these people, They're getting some bad information, sorry to say, for some top influencers who are saying just hold forever. Glad I didn't hold forever. But if anything, I said I'm going to reinvest some of it back into it. I got back in SHIB. But my key thing is this, just like you mentioned, where you said you constantly read and research all the time. That's what I was doing. I was researching all the time. I was saying to myself, I need to find out more and more about this. And the next thing I knew, because I was bit by the crypto bug, if you will, right? Took 10K and it became 120K. I didn't settle for that. I said, I want to learn more about some of these other altcoins and, the ones with utility and all this stuff. And I read and read and read and read and continued to read. And then when my friends, when we go out to, eat or go to the movies and all these types of things, they're asking me, they're like, hey, how are you doing? And, we haven't seen each other for a while. What's new with you? I would tell them about, hey, I did well with crypto. And then, they don't even know what crypto is. And it's just like, and I'll tell them about some of the use cases, blockchain technology, all these things. Why? Because I got bit by that crypto bug. So my key thing is I could totally relate to what you're talking about. You research all the time. Why do we research these things all the time? Because, yeah, to a sense, we can become obsessive about it. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, being a teacher here in Arizona, I don't think this is the case anymore, but it used to be. We had the second worst teacher wages of any state in the union. The only one that was worse is Mississippi. I don't think that's the case, but we're still like way up there, right? We did get some recent raises, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not going to get to the dream of creating a video game. That's my dream. You know what I mean? Went to venture panels and they want to take 85% of profits. And I'm saying to myself, man, after I divide this with my dev team, there is no way this is going to even equate to a McDonald's salary. You know what I mean? Like, forget it.
Right.
Like, we're too greedy. I said, there's got to be another way. What's the other way? And I found out crypto is my ticket. And so I'd be obsessed over it. And that's, if you guys are wondering, why is this Max guy, yesterday he did like 5 hours. Sometimes I'll do something like that. You know why? Because then you find out stuff from people like you, IMDPP, sorry. Discipline, prioritize, and purpose. Here's a perfect example. He has that discipline. He has the prioritization of what? His research. He understands what his purpose is. Look at the books. I read probably, I don't even know, man. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but I probably read a lot more than the average person. I know that, especially as being a teacher. You have to read a bunch of material. But on top of that, when it comes to the crypto stuff, I read a ton. Who probably reads more than me? Probably Michael Cornwell. Some of you other guys, maybe Cool Cat Crypto, right? He's passionate about BSV. If I left your name off the list, you know who you are. You don't need to prove anything. But the key thing is you are all excited about what? The research you've done. Why are you so excited about that research? Why are you not just, watching Netflix 24/7 or some of this other stuff? I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it, I guess, right? But it's because you got bit by the crypto bug. Or maybe you never got bit by the crypto bug, but you understand, like, oh my God, we used to live in an era, and I want to kick it back to Ruell here in a second. But we live in an era where it's so much different from many, many years ago, where you had to be that guy who went to like an Ivy League school. You had to be the guy who had like a super top-notch quality education. Because if you weren't, you were going to be a guy who just, I hate to say this term, but, makes like 25, 30K a year or something like that. Or I also hate to use this expression, sucking the hind tit of what society could provide to you, because you're not getting that information. We used to live in a time where that information was to the elites. We live in a time now where there's no excuse to not obtain the knowledge that's in front of us. And for me personally, yeah, that's why I do extended hours, or some of you guys are blowing up my phone, or you send me tweets and stuff. And I get it. I might not get into everything, but we do try the best to cover the material as much as we can of what we get. So I encourage you, whether it's on Twitter, on ctnnetwork.net, networking with, for instance, darkhorsewasher.com with, Ruell Black, wherever the case be, right? We are a network of individuals who come together, I guess you could say, as a coalition of researchers. I think that's what makes our platform stand out. So, yeah. I'm going to just see if there's anything I missed. And if anything, we're going to wrap it up soon, because, I mean, we went well over. I was going to shoot for 2 hours. I want to respect Ruell's time here. So I'm going to give you the floor, my friend. And if anything, it's been a great show, but we are looking to wrap things up here in a bit. So take it away.
Yes, just speak some more on that. Yeah, guys, there used to be so many gatekeepers to information, and now like people will come on like Max, like Larry, like myself, and give you information like virtually for free, right? It's an amazing time, and like make the best of the time. And not only just for yourselves, like maybe share it with your friends. Like, look at what you're missing out on. Like, I know you hear that crypto is a scam, but look, you know, these people are involved with the World Economic Forum. These people are involved with central banks. These people are, you know, publicly traded companies hold Bitcoin now, MicroStrategy, right? Like, there's so much of a difference that you can make for your family right now and make your money work for you. You know, of course, not financial advice, just, you know, what I'm trying to do for my family, and which I'm sure you guys are trying to do for yours. You guys can find me at darkhorsewatcher.com. I also have some alternative content, like you can kind of say on the like the tinfoil hat side, on a channel called Rockfin. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Rockfin. I have a link for you guys for that, but it's kind of alternative stuff. Where I'll talk stuff like the Hermetic principles. Like the Hermetic principles have a huge impact when you're talking about investing, right? When you look at the principle of duality and you look at different principles that are Hermetic principles. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me.
Sorry, it's gonna happen. I do it too. Crypto Hulk does it all the time. Anyway.
So that alternative to content, I find myself looking at a lot of things in crypto and like, okay, why do we have all of these freaking X logos? What is that about? Like there's some X logos that aren't even like, you're not even an exchange. Why do you have an X as your logo? Stuff like that. Why is it always references to gods? Like, why is there a Chronos chain? Why is there a Holo chain? And you go and you look at it and you're like, okay, Holo is a goddess of fertility and all this type of stuff. So all of that kind of leads into my alternative channel, and it's called Crypto and Conspiracy on Rockfin. Maximus, do you have that link I sent you? You're muted.
Sorry, give me just a second. I'll pull that up. But yeah, I do have that one. So let me pull that up on Twitter.
A lot of the content on Rockfin is free, but some of it is like you have to have a subscription. So what I did is I also have this channel on Google and Apple Podcast. So you can listen to it, but you can listen to most everything, but a lot of it is also free on Rockfin as well. I also try to put up my Black Root investing things on Google and Apple Podcasts as well, but all of it's best viewed by visuals, right? Because I show charts and graphs and stuff. So definitely try to get me at darkhorsewatcher.com, and on Rockfin it's Black Root Rockfin. And thank you guys so much. Like, I'm always in the chats, and everybody in the community is so welcoming. Max is so welcoming. Like, thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of your community. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, well, you'll definitely see me in the chats again. Hopefully, I'll come live again another time.
Yeah, man, we would love to have you back here for sure. I think it's been a great show. I'm just going to read a few more comments and then we're going to wrap things up. If you guys have any questions for, well, do you like being called Rue for short? I know you said Ruell.
Yeah, Rue's fine. Rue's fine.
I'm just going to call you Rue then. If you have any questions or comments for Rue as I'm going through the comments, go ahead and drop them before we wrap things up. I'm going to read this comment. Shout out to GG. Thank you for this comment, man. I really appreciate it. He states, Max, been spreading your vids on my Twitter feed, hoping other people will appreciate all your knowledge and research. Keep it up. Well, thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. There's a few communities that like have embraced us. I would definitely say like with quants, especially Jasmine, man. I mean, you think that we get some good views on Jasmine on YouTube? Oh my gosh, like you should see how many views we get and engagement we get on Twitter. It's like it blows it away.
Wow.
Yeah, like I almost have as many followers on Twitter as Larry does. I'm coming up on soon. I'm coming after you, Larry, if you're listening anyway. But yes, it's been quite the experience. Gigi, please let me know what your user handle is on Twitter, because I mean, obviously it's not GG, so it must be something that I really recognize, or I don't know. Maybe you have a different handle of like, oh wait, okay, that's who you are, and you know. But thank you, GG. Appreciate you as always. Here's another G is GS Blackwood. It feels like the time is getting closer to the point of no return. Low prices, goodbye. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. What is he talking about? Here's a reiteration, just in case you missed it. The 4 phases of the crypto market. This is from crypto.com/university. It's not made up stuff. Look into it yourself. You may not be that type of guy like, I just like attending the live shows. I don't like looking at Max's recorded content. That's okay. But I have covered this multiple times, and I have actual data to back this up. I'm telling you flat out, guys, we are in the accumulation phase. The next point is blast off. And how about this? Even if people don't agree with me with the bull run thesis, that's okay. But I think most people will agree 2024, 2025, you know, some people say that's the real bull market. Why are you saying that? Well, it's because that's where all-time highs. So if your definition of a bull market is just all-time highs, I get what you're saying. Either way, the key is, why the heck would you want to come into, for example, LCX at like $2 or $3? You're gonna really load up a big bag at $2 or $3? I mean, maybe, but we understand that's where the FOMO money comes in. And again, these are part of some of our goals. But for us, accumulation phase. And when people say your time is running out, we're still early. We are still early, but there are some things we're running out of time on. Perfect example, XRP. All right.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, I see you're foaming now into XRP. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you feel like you still don't own a decent sized bag of XRP, maybe look more into that, because I mean, let's face it, that accumulation phase. I mean, some of you guys had it below 30 cents, like when it was 29 cents and so on. But for the longest time, it was between 32 and 40 cents. Yeah. And now we're at what, 55, something like that, 56. So anyway, just check that out. On top of that, let's get into a few more comments and we'll wrap this up. Let's see here. Yes, another exchange really good. They also have a CSE as a low cap. Cool Cat says if you're not sure what to buy, just go with that triple X. That's a good point. I'm gonna put Ruell's excuse me. I know either way is fine. Here's his particular page. Please go ahead and give him a follow. Go ahead and subscribe to him. Let's see him tick up a few. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember where you're at on this, but let's see him tick up to. That'd be cool if you could see him tick up to like 1.55. That'd be really cool. McDizzle says, I've been trying to wake them up, but I'm really trying to wake y'all up before this weekend. All right, good point. The alts are going to bust off the ISO. Are you going to do something like real fast? Are you ready? All right. Let's just read a few more. Selmo Fudd, you can read it yourself.
Thanks, Ruel. Thank you, guys. I can already see people have come over and subscribed. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. I think that really, if I was a person from the outside, let's say I'm not Max, I'm just a viewer. I've never seen you before. I'm gonna tell you flat out, Ru, what makes you stand out is your research. You could tell that you've done research. You're pointing out key things in our community. I mean, come on, guys. You can admit it yourself. We appreciate this because we like people who are not just like, oh, I'm sharing the news. I mean, we share the news too. Don't get me wrong. There's nights where it's just news, but there's, for the most part, I think the general consensus as far as our reputation as a community here at CTN is we do take the deep dives into the research. It's not just the news, but it's elaborating on why that news is important. What's going on in the background? What are they building? What's the future outlook? You know, whether it's metaverse or Web3 or payments or you name it, right? But yeah, Blackwood, thanks Max. Thanks Ru Black. He gives you the dabs. GG says
it, Blackwood.
Yeah. GS Max Debs, right back at you, my friend. Selmo says he's got land. That's awesome, Selmo. Good for you, buddy. My dream house, believe it or not, is I would like to have obviously a nice house, but like I want to have like a backyard, but then also towards the end is like there's a, I guess you could say like a dock of the pier, and I want to have my ski boat, you know what I mean, my ski boat on the lake, and take it out and just have fun with my boat and stuff like that. So we all have a different definition of whatever that is. I also want to be far away from most people. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm kind of done having noisy neighbors. No, I was never a Karen, but man, my neighbors every day, it's some of them are cool, some of them are just too loud. But anyway, when you constantly hear at 2 o'clock in the morning on a work night, which is annoying. Come on, it's a work night. You know, the constant carne asada burrito with sour cream. It's like, come on, it's 2 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. I have work in the morning. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. All right. Blackwood. Unfortunately, I couldn't sell silver. We'll have to spend up on that as soon as possible. All right. You got solar, food, and all that stuff going on. Crypto keeps you out of the gutter. All right, cool stuff. Maybe just a couple more. McDizzle says, I have multiple boxes of small quietness air rifles for a small game. Need a bird, little kitty. LOL. What the heck? All right, Burke. That's what I use Kona Bears for. So, I think that's about it. I'll give you the last word. I kind of did earlier, but I'll just give the last word. Take it away, Ruel.
Again, guys, thank you so much. You can find me at darkhorsewatcher.com. You can also find me on Rockfin, where we do kind of alternative content, where we'll talk about stuff like hermetic principles, sun worship, Saturn worship, stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for the warm welcome to the community. I'll definitely be around. Please come over and give the channel a try. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, do you got just like a couple minutes backstage after we end the show? Okay. Sometimes I play the outro and some people just take off and it's fine. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you again. Smash that like on your way out, and again, check out some of our recorded content. Brand new video in regards to Quant over ledger update. You want to check that out, and give a sub and follow to Rue Black at darkhorsewatcher.com, and I'm sure it'll take you right to his YouTube. So, like as the saying goes, know what you have, know why you hold it. You've done the research. And with that said, guys, have a great night. Come back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, for more Crypto Talk Now. Have a great night.
Peace.